Start with start, I think.
Oh, all right. I think everything's up on my side. You good to go, Con?
Pressing live now.
Ooh, nice,
There we
nice. Oh, what is this? Why is Twitch telling me there's... Oh, welcome.
Oh,
It's saying there's Discord rewards available on my Twitch. What is this?
ow. Maybe the
Oh,
new.
whoops.
I know Twitch has been working, and like Discord has been like doing the whole reward thingy.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of stuff. I think I got something for Marvel Snap actually when I opened it up today. So,
Yeah, they've been doing like quests so, like with games and everything, right?
mm-hmm.
So it makes sense if they're
Right,
doing it with
right.
Twitch too.
But anyway, welcome everybody. Let's see.
Hello, hello.
Hello. It's been a while. Well, actually, how long has it been for? It's been a couple weeks, right, since we last did a talking.
Yeah, I'd say almost a month. I think like
Hmm.
I think the last time we were streaming together was
Nope.
like
Hello there,
last
Pyre.
month,
Welcome,
which is
welcome.
like more than 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I'd say 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh. So, I don't. Let's see. How do we want to? I think how I wanted to start off was I kind of want to go over what I've been doing because I know for the past couple of weeks I've actually been sorting through a bunch of cards and everything. So hang on, let me. Where's my? There we go. And then because I wanted to kind of show all that stuff off, and ooh, oh, I need to kind of update the the Twitch chat. I see it's a little blurry on some of my stuff here, but that's all good. Yeah, so what I've been doing is actually sorting through a bunch of my old Magic cards here. And Con, I think I sent you the photos, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's kind of insane how much money he's spending on those cards.
Well, so these are all cards that I've been gathering since probably like my senior year in high school, because that's when I got into Magic. And then I've just kind of
Ooh.
been gradually gathering them up throughout like the years and everything. And my parents and family members would get them during my birthday and holidays and everything. So there were some sets that I definitely have more of than others. And what those columns are in the first photo is like just all the like I sorted them all into different sets, and then I put them all into like binders here, which are all like I think all the binders that I have there's 5 of them, and they're all like 1,000 card binders. Because like in total, I think out of that all like this huge group of photos, I think there was like about 10,000-ish cards, and then I kept. Yep, and I kept only like I just wanted to keep one of every card, and then I was going to go and sell all the duplicates and stuff. So I ended up keeping around like 5,000-ish, which is how I was able to fit them all into the binder. And then I sold them like all the rest to like a card shop, and was able to make let's see, I think I made what was it, 135 or 140-ish in credit, which was actually a lot better than what I thought, because I thought I wasn't going to get a lot for like the bulk and everything. But luckily I had a couple of good cards that were able to sell for pretty high.
Oh.
And then with that money, I've been now funding my new addiction, which is Pokemon collecting instead of Magic collecting.
Went from one card to a different card now.
Right. Well, it's like one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to switch over was because Magic cards are kind of boring to collect unless you're actually playing the game. And I'm just not playing it like physically anymore. Like when I do play Magic, I'll play it occasionally from like on the PC and everything. But I just don't do it physically, and the cards are just very boring. But Pokemon cards are actually really interesting, and here I'll send you some of them and go through them. But what makes them really cool is all the like holographic patterns and stuff that they have in them, along with they'll even add things like texturing and all this other cool stuff.
Do they not do that on Magic?
So Magic, the only thing that they do is a very basic holographic stuff. So like it's just very much. Oh, hang on. I think sending you those photos is making my stream lag a little bit. Oh, my internet does not like uploading and.
Ooh,
All right, let me see after that. Does it go back down?
unintentional technical difficulties.
It does. Okay. Yeah. So that was my bad.
Ooh.
So I'll send you those and then I'll just go through the rest of them on my stream. But like, no,
I mean,
Magic.
they definitely look pretty.
Yeah, Magic only ever does whatchamacallit, like very basic holographic stuff. So they look like the best way to describe it is just they're just shiny, right? Whereas
true.
like whereas Pokemon will actually try to make their stuff more, I don't know, how should I put it? Like they make it a lot more appeasing to collect by adding in a bunch of like texturing and stuff. So, and then
I mean,
like they'll have different versions of holographic stuff. Like I know the photos don't show it off very well. So like if you're looking at them just from the photos, they don't look super great.
It looks better on like the photo that you sent me, obviously, because like on the stream it's like downscaled.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good
I
point.
still, it's still like.
If
I
I
still
were
don't
to
get
show
it,
you them
the
in
appeal.
person, they would look a lot better. Like I guarantee that. But
I mean, I still don't understand the appeal of like collecting all of them.
Wait, do you
Like
say you do or don't?
No, I don't. Because like the
Oh, you don't?
cards that I have back then, Yu-Gi-Oh, the reason I bought I did said before that I used to like collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and like I collect them because I played with it. Like it's the exact same thing as like when you talk about like the Magic cards. It's because like I play with the cards. I duel with my friends at school and stuff, and that's why I went to like buy as much as I can, and like it piled up and stuff. But like after I stopped playing it, it doesn't really, like, most cards doesn't hold much value to me unless like it's specifically like rare. So yeah, like the visual, like, yeah, it's pretty, but like I don't see the value in it personally.
I think for me, I just like the completing part of it because like I want to complete like a set, and I find that like kind of fun and enjoyable. It's kind of like when you go and play like a gacha game, right? And you want to collect all the characters and stuff. Like I kind of like this because it's like, opening up packs is very much like pulling, except the rates are a little bit better. And you can trade, and there's, if you want to get your stuff, there's a guaranteed way of getting it without. And honestly, Pokemon's actually pretty cheap comparatively, like because like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh can have some very expensive cards. Like I don't know if you've ever looked at the prices for some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but they can go up pretty high.
I think they can go pretty high. Yeah,
Oh,
you're not wrong about that. But
hang on.
Personally, I still don't see the appeal. No. But that's just me. I've always been someone that is like, as someone that doesn't have much money, I've always been more conscious about like utility over like, oh, it looks good, or like I'm collecting it because it's my hobby. No, if I don't actually play the card game, I'm not gonna collect it.
No, I could see that. Like, it takes a bit. Like, it's kind of like the old baseball collecting and stuff too, right?
See, I don't understand what they're doing, because like it doesn't exist in my country, like baseball card collecting.
Oh,
but I
really?
did see some
Okay.
news about like how people were like going crazy about like being able to sell them.
Yeah, there's a very interesting like stuff when it comes to like I think they call them like slabs and stuff over here, which is when you go and get them like graded and everything, and it's not a huge thing that I enjoy because I feel like a hobby should be a hobby, not like an investment, but but a lot of people do enjoy that. But yeah,
I can see it. Like, considering how like considering how expensive those cards can get, I'm assuming that like it's pretty popular around here.
Oh yeah, but no, Pokemon cards are definitely very popular. Like in fact, there was an interesting thing because Pokemon does promo cards, which are like these special versions of the cards, and they'll sell them out in different places. And there were 2 instances where it absolutely went like super crazy. The first one was with what you might call it. There was like a special Picasso Pikachu that they were selling, or not selling. They were actually giving it out at the like one of the British museums and everything, and people went crazy trying to pick that card up.
I think I remember seeing that on the news.
Mm-hmm. Like it was insane what people were doing for it. So, and I think right now it's probably insane. One of the most expensive, selling for several hundred. But like, so that was one time when I know Pokemon stuff and scalpers went a little crazy. And then the other one was actually relatively recently, like this year, or I guess technically last year, at their like, so Pokemon does like a world championship for all their games, like their trading card games, their Pokemon, and all that stuff. And what ended up happening was this year it was in Hawaii, and they set up a special like Pokemon Center where they sell a bunch of merchandise and everything there. And even though you had to book a time to enter the place, there were so many like scalpers that were going in there buying all the stuff ahead of time, and then they were selling it right outside of the store that was selling it. And sometimes apparently they were also even selling it inside of the store too.
It's kind of crazy.
And I'm like, that's insane that you have the guts to not only sell the same stuff, but do it like
in front of them.
Right. And even in the store, I'm like, that's crazy.
That really is. I'm surprised people are actually doing that. People are insane sometimes.
They are. But that's people for you, I guess. Because like they've been doing that forever, right? Even when it comes to like what you call it, like the game stations, right? Because that's why it was so hard to get a PS5 and everything, right?
But they don't sell it in front of the store. They don't
go
to
true. Like, they don't sell it like right outside of Target or anything, right?
Yeah, no. People are getting more brazen these days. It's kind of insane. But like, yeah, scalping always sucks. I could see the appeal of like doing it to like areas where you don't have to like, where you don't have the actual like official seller. Like if I'm scalping it and then I'm buying it and then I'm selling it to like my own country, for example, like where like usually most stuff doesn't come in, like yeah, you can call that scalping, but I can also be like, hey, it's like
I think it's different when it's like not available, right? Like
yeah, but it is kind of like it is kind of ass that like they deliberately like making it out of stock. It's a free market because ass.
Well, it's like what I hate about it is that it kind of reminds me, like, have you ever like heard about like comic books and how their industry almost like crashed several years back?
The industry?
Yeah, the comic book industry.
Oh, so like
what happened, and this was probably before you and me were even born, but what happened was that after I think World War II, people started to realize that their old comic books were selling for a lot of money. And so it kind of came out to this whole thing of like, oh, if you should go and collect comic books because comic books sell for a lot of money and everything. Not realizing that the reason why the comic books were selling for a lot of money was because a lot of those early comics were destroyed because of like they were giving them away for like World War II and all this other kind of stuff. So like there was a very limited supply of them, and that's why they were selling for a lot. But people rushed to the stores, bought a bunch of comics, and then the people at the comic books place were like, oh, people must really like comics, so let's just print a bunch of comics. And then they created a bunch of like stock, and then nobody ended up buying them because they weren't worth anything, and they almost lost like a lot of money from that.
That's such a bad business decision.
It is, but it's also like, it was just
from both ends, because like the ones that are buying it because like, oh, I can resell it for like for more money later is also screwing themselves, and then the ones that like had the one that like the company that prints out the new comics are also screwed up.
Yeah, but it does remind me because like during COVID, people were almost doing the same thing as well, like with because I think like that's when Pokemon cards really picked up again for some reason, and people are almost about to do the exact same thing there.
Hey, people have too much money and too much time at home, so
Hmm.
you gotta find a hobby. That's also why games picked up a lot, right?
Oh yeah,
One of the
definitely.
reason like gaming and like even like something people have been saying that like something like Genshin Impact managed to like pick up is also thanks to like
Oh yeah, just
to
because of the pandemic and everything.
COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it would be interesting to see like would Genshin still be as popular if it wasn't from the pandemic? Like,
I'd
because
say
I
it
feel
wouldn't
like
be half as popular if it weren't for like the pandemic and that thing.
because I feel like
Honestly.
people probably wouldn't have stayed with it for as long, right? They probably would have like stopped, I think. But because there was nothing else to do, I think that's what really kept people into it.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely that the COVID thing definitely helps with like the retention
Mm-hmm.
because it's a live service game. You know, most people usually get bored around like the first month, especially that's around the time I finished like all the missions and
Right,
like the
right.
story
Mm-hmm.
quests, and then like you be left with like the daily stuff. But like since there's no other games releasing around that time, because like the all the big titles are like, oh, this is COVID, like we cannot finish the development, so like we have to like delay the game, and
Mm.
then the Genshin is basically like the biggest options, like the only option probably out there
Right,
for
right.
most people, and it's free. That also helps. You know, if you have other games that you have in mind that you were like excited about, they were like, oh, you know, $30, $60, but this game is free, and like it is good back then. Like it's the only thing that we have back then, like in terms of like big open world gacha games. So
Mm. Well,
I
even
can see the
nowadays,
appeal.
there's still like the major like open world one, right? Because I think
Well,
a lot of the newer ones are coming out like later, right?
yeah, but like now we have competition, right? You know, as you know, Wuwa is not perfect, but it's there. Tower of Fantasy is lacking in a lot of like aspect, but like it's also there. So like people now have more options. It's just most people are sticking to it because like it's already pretty big, and most people are probably already like invested because
Mm.
during those COVID time when they have extra money, they probably use it to spend like they spend it on the game, and now the game is
Oh yeah,
basically like
yeah.
they
The
kind of
sunk
like
cost
quote
fallacy and
unquote
everything.
yeah invested into the game now. Oh shit. But yeah, I can so the game is winning. It's a perfect time. Like they have well, I wouldn't say perfect product, but like it was perfect for its time,
Hmm.
and they got
Definitely.
the good marketing with it too. So yeah, it's a lot of like the stars aligned basically for Hoyo back then. Um, but yeah, other than cards, what else were you doing like in the the past like 3 weeks or something?
um. No, actually, that was pretty much it because it took me like, oh, I want to say like a whole week at least to organize them all, and then actually probably even a little bit more than that because I started on like a Saturday and then I think I ended on like yeah, probably the following Saturday. And then I had to input all this stuff into like an Excel sheet that I wanted to sell because I didn't know what the
Hmm.
cost of everything was. And a
Hmm.
friend gave me an API that I could use for
Okay,
like because there's a, actually, do you know what APIs are? Or maybe I should give a little bit of a background on what those are for. But
maybe a
essentially,
little bit of background would help.
yeah. Well, for those of you guys out there who don't know what they are, they're pretty much a call that you can make to a server online to get back certain
Hmm.
data. So a very common use of this would be like, for instance, League of Legends, where if you've ever seen sites that have like your match history and everything, and then can tell you like, you know, what items you used and, you know, what your death
Hmm.
timers were in KDA and everything. Like those sites are able to get that information by calling the Riot APIs and getting that data back.
Yeah,
So
almost
like,
something like YouTube, right? If you want to see like I think people had like social blade and stuff where they could
yeah,
check
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
this YouTube has been like having like influx of followers and stuff like that. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
a reports, but like to third party.
Right. I think Twitch has the same thing too, right? Is like Twitch
Hmm.
Tracker or something. I think has a similar thing as well.
I mean, Twitch has its own thing, right? But like, if you want to, like, some
Well,
third-party
I
stuff
mean, there's
has
a
more
third party
detail.
one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I mean, even something like Stream Elements can track your stuff, right?
Right.
Also,
True.
also use an API.
So like that's how they get all that data. And so what I was doing is I was doing a similar thing of like getting like I was putting it into an Excel sheet, and then my friend showed me that you can put like JavaScript into Google Excel. And so like I did that and made a call out using the data from the sheet to get back the price and everything that was selling off of, I think it was like a TCG player is the most common one. So
that's kind of crazy. So you make your own like kind of like price list that keeps like self-updating and stuff?
It would update whenever I would reopen the Excel sheet, which I felt a little bad because it was making individual like almost like a lot of calls. I'm like, whoops, but it did give me the price of everything, so that was very handy.
That's insane. I will never thought about that.
No, I wouldn't have thought about it either. I was so glad he showed that to me because there were some cards on there that I did not think were actually like worth anything. But like when I went through there, it's like, oh yeah, like it's actually selling. So that was very handy. And then been doing that, and then yeah, outside of just actually collecting the Pokemon and organizing that stuff, because now I'm actually putting them into binders and trying to reorganize them ahead of time, because I don't want to have to do with Pokemon what I did with Magic. Again, I want to get ahead of the of the game and sort them before I go and try to sell them or organize everything. So
that's fair. Do you organize like the cards in a specific way? So like those 5 binders, is it like A to like Z or something like that?
So I'm doing the binders by the set. So like I'll have a binder for each set of cards, and then the cards themselves do have an ordering to them, and Pokemon seems to kind of go based off of elements. So it goes like grass, I think it's like grass, water, fire, electric. Yeah, it goes in a certain order. And then I think it goes kind of I don't know if it's alphabetical or what they decide to go with within the set itself. I think they might actually go by Pokedex number, because like Venusaur was like the first one on one of the sets, but he's a V, and there's other grass type Pokemon, so he's definitely, even though he's the first, he's definitely not in there from alphabetical. So so they must have some rating to do it. But I did switch it up a little bit, because you know how some Pokemon kind of change their typing when they evolve and everything? Or are you a big Pokemon fan? I don't know if I've ever talked to you about Pokemon before.
No, which just makes sense, because I never played Pokemon in my life.
No, it's so much fun. Well, anyway, there are
a lot of people say.
Like there are some Pokemon that are like, they'll start off like a certain type. So let's take a Crabrawler, who's just like he's a fighting type crab, right, with punchy bags. And when he evolves, he turns into an ice fighting type. But in the card game, he's just an ice type, which is technically water. The card game like combines a lot of the elements together. But so essentially he changes his element through his evolutionary line. And because of that, the cards are actually like in different orders from each other. But because I want to keep the evolutionary lines intact, I'm putting them together in the binder. So I'm kind of moving some stuff around, but. And then they also like, so the nice thing that I really like about Pokemon, and why I think it's actually it's a good game to get into if you want to play it like physically, is because they have alternate versions of a lot of the cards in the game. So the most powerful cards that you can like kind of use are like the EX Pokemon, which are like these really beefed up sort of like normal versions of Pokemon. And they'll be in the base game as like a double rare or something. But then the game will always have like a higher, more expensive version of that card. Let it be, it has like an ultra rare version, or it could have a special arch rare version, or like some other like variation to it, which I think does a really good job of keeping those expensive cards like kind of, or it gives players a cheaper option if they want to go and play those decks, right? So because you can get those normal EX cards for like less than $1 or like $2 or something. So I think that's way better than like, say, like if it was the same thing for like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic, those really important cards would be hundreds of dollars. And so like
you can find some.
Yeah, if you can find
cards
them,
just
right?
straight up extinct back then.
Right. Well, and those cards are like thousands of dollars. Like there are some Magic cards that are from like the original Magic set that came out in like 1990, 1980 or something, that are like so rare. They're like at least a couple thousand, if not like $5,000. So, and that's like not even in like PSA 10. You know, that's like this was played on the playground sort of thing. You know.
It was
which is
different
actually
from me.
Yeah.
Yes, because like when I play, like when I collect cards, I collected to play. So I never really like do like like this card. Like I would never like put it on a binder and stuff. I would always group it up according to like.
Did you ever do card sleeves at all, or?
No, not really. Because like card sleeves, it's not really viable if you're going to play the card, right? You're not allowed to make the card looks different than the.
No. Card sleeves actually are. So you may have played before, because I remember too when I was a kid and I played Yu-Gi-Oh, like nobody used card sleeves and stuff either. And it wasn't until I started playing Magic in like high school where card sleeves became more of a thing. So like the reason why a lot of people want you to actually use them is because they actually cover the back of the card. And so like you can't, like if people actually mark it, you notice that. And the card sleeves, you know, they protect the cards. They also make it easier to shuffle your deck too, because of just the things on them. And then it's just,
I didn't know about
they're
that.
very good, but they were not popular back then. I think the only thing that they really had back in the day were you remember those top loaders, which are like those big, thick kind of plastic things that you could put the cards into?
Yeah, I know about those, but like, man, I would never like use those. First of all, like I barely was able to like buy the cards to begin with. I'm not gonna spend more money on like.
No, I get that. I as a kid I wouldn't have either, so I totally understand.
But like, like for me, when I collected back then, I collected the cards to play with it, right? So I would always group the card according to like the builds that I need for the deck. So like there's a deck specifically for a specific type of like monsters and stuff like that. Is what I would do. Ooh. So I didn't really like arrange it like alphabetically or like something like that. No. Like if the monster has combo with like the same group and stuff like that, that's like I'm gonna make it into like a whole deck by itself.
Ooh. What kind of stuff did you like to build with? Like did you like, because I like to kind of build like some of the anime like character decks and everything, but did you go with like the
I would go with like obviously like the combo, like for example like I remember there's a monster type in like Yu-Gi-Oh called like the hero like character, so it's kind of like Power Rangers
stuff. Like the
like
elemental hero stuff, or
elemental hero stuff. I would have a deck like filled with those characters basically, because like every character
those cards
works
are cool
with another hero character.
Okay, so you were very like archetyped then. Because I think when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, it was way in the early days before really archetypes I think started to kind of take off. And then when it did take off, that's when I kind of stopped playing physically and was playing more of like, did you ever play like the PSP or like Vita games that they had? Like Tag Force?
No, I never had PSP.
Those games are so good. If you find like a ROM hack of them, I would suggest playing those because they were a lot of fun.
I mean, if you want to play the Yu-Gi-Oh game now, they have it on Steam.
Oh yeah, they do. They have Master Duels, but then you have to go and kind of, it's a bit of a grind to get everything, and there's not much of a story to it either. Like I liked how back in the day, Yu-Gi-Oh games used to have like story, and they went really crazy on some of the old Yu-Gi-Oh games too. Like because like there was one on like the PlayStation 1 that I remember where like you could just fuse cards randomly from your hand, and they would make like really crazy fusions that wouldn't normally happen in the game, but like and it was just a lot of fun seeing what sort of crazy stuff you can create. And then there was another game on the PS2 that I remember. I think it was like Rose or Duel of the Roses or something. It was like there was the Yu-Gi-Oh characters, but they were back in time, and it was almost like a tactical RPG where you're moving through like a map and you're facing off against the monsters and stuff. Like, it was kind of cool. It wasn't really Yu-Gi-Oh, but it was a very cool game.
That's kind of crazy because I don't have a lot of options for like games back then. So like I rely heavily on like when I play Yu-Gi-Oh, I rely mostly on like what my friend told me about the effects and like what I can read from the cards. Because like the thing is like someone that lives in a third world country, a lot of the cards are like fakes. So sometimes it can be the same card, but like it has different effects, or like the English translation is ass. So I cannot like back then like. So I was pretty good with English back then. Like something that is like simple effects, I can read it. Like the original translation, official translation, I can usually read it. But then they like some of them comes with like kind of like an old English way of like saying things and like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So instead of like this card summon, like they would use like, oh, this card calls forth and stuff like, and I don't get it because I was a kid back then and like this is what the fuck does this do? So it gets muddied.
Like, how should I say it? There were like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, especially nowadays. Have you seen any recent Yu-Gi-Oh cards and just the walls of text that they have on them now?
I haven't seen the most recent one, but I stopped around the time they released the Synchro stuff, the white cards.
And okay, so you haven't seen like any pendulum monsters. Let me see.
Those are already painful enough, like the Synchros.
It's like, even more crazier with like, because they added in like pendulum and Xyz and what's the other one? There's like a Link monsters now, so it's like you can pretty much somebody's turn one is them taking like what would have been like 10 or 20 turns back in the day.
That you know, back then the only way to do that is if you have Exodia on all five parts on your hand. That's the only way you can end the game in one turn. Either that or like I think like Final Countdown. Final Countdown wins the game in 10 turns if I'm not wrong.
I think there's a card that does that. 10 turns, but it takes some time for sure.
Yeah, but like nowadays apparently it's crazy. I mean, I never played that far, surprisingly. I don't know if it's because we were kids and we keep making our own rules, or if it's because our cards back then was just so OP. So like we don't know, like, but yeah, it's like it's been getting more and more confusing, and like less and less of my friends are playing it, and they started switching to actual games instead of like playing cards. I think around middle school is when they started switching. I think a lot of my friends played Dota, actually, the first one, the old.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So we were playing those in like some online games, like something like Lost Saga and like Point Blank, which is like kind of like Counter-Strike in a way, but pay to win. Which is kind of crazy. Hearing that is kind of crazy. Where you can buy the guns, so some people can just like buy an OP gun and just kills you.
Oh, in Counter-Strike, yeah.
No, not Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike only get you get only to like buy skins, right?
Right. Okay.
But like in like we had this called like Point Blank. I think it's like from Asian like market, maybe like Korean.
Oh, is that? I think I've seen. Like I think I saw Conan O'Brien playing something like that in a what is it, the gaming bar, or what do they call those things, the
net cafe,
like,
yeah those games are like pretty popular in my country, and like you can buy the guns, so like someone can just spend like I don't know, maybe $10 and they can like quote unquote rent the gun. It doesn't have to be permanent. You can get like the better gun like and rent it for like 3 days or something, and then everyone just disappears because that gun kills. Like, it's a machine gun. They can dual wield it. It kills you in like 3 shots, and it shoots faster than like any of the other gun that you have.
Oh geez.
So unless you see and headshot the guy first before he shot you, like you'll never win like an actual like gunfight against them. And then like and then there's like a female like character. And if you buy the female character, the hitbox is smaller, and like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
And I cannot
nice.
shit the head because the head is smaller and like the body is slimmer and like what the fuck. So yeah, it was really pay to win back then, but I was like, I had fun.
Yeah, and pay to win's a lot more, I think, okay over there, right? Because it's seen more as like it's okay to spend your money to get status.
It's okay as long as the game is free, because the problem is that most people doesn't have to lump sum money to buy the game, right? So that's why free to play games always works in like Asian country, because our like we don't have $100 in hand this like today, but we can spend $100 over 10 months
time
eventually. Yeah.
Okay, I see. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Because it's like I feel like you guys have definitely spent more than what a normal.
I know. That's why I don't like. That's why I never. That's why I was never interested in like something like Final Fantasy 6, like 15, like 14, because like eventually I'll spend more than I spend like in other games.
Yeah. No, I've definitely spent a lot.
And also, it makes me want to play the game. Like it makes me only want to like not want. It makes me feel forced to play that game because like it's a subscription. Like if I only play one day every month, that means like the hours that I spend. Yeah, it costs more per hour.
It's like I definitely felt that way in WoW, especially like near the end when I was thinking about quitting it. But like for 14, surprisingly, I actually don't feel that way. And there were plenty of times where it's like I don't even think I really sign in for a month except for just real quick to log into my house so I don't lose it. But it's like, and I'm okay with that because 14 does a really good job. Like they do a good job of just delivering content and listening to their community and everything. And it's like, I don't feel bad keeping my subscription and giving them money because I know it's going to go to a good place, you know?
That's fair.
And I mean, and they've also said too, they don't mind if you come in for like a month, do like whatever content you like whether it be the story or, you know, some gathering and everything. And then once the content you like is dried up, you can stop playing. And
I mean, you know, whether they mind or not doesn't matter. It doesn't change like how I spend my money, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
no. That's
even with WoW, they cannot force me to pay for the game. But like, it's just like maybe it's like my skewed like perspective on value because I live in a country with like $15. It's a lot of money.
It is.
That's like food for like 2 weeks back then. So like if I had to spend money on like subscription, I could have spent money on like other things. For sure back then. Like nowadays it's not as much as a problem, it's more on the time side of thing probably nowadays,
yeah
like,
definitely
so many games, so little time,
and MMOs take up a lot and everything, so
MMOs
a
especially
lot of games
definitely no, MMOs probably take the most time
for
I'd
sure
say.
Like
but that's the whole point, like you're supposed to have a lot of activities, you know,
a lot of activities that you can just hang out with people too. And because like it's so interesting because MMOs came out really before a lot of like internet, like, you know, like how we can connect right now through Discord and everything, and you know, just through social media. Like back in the days when MMOs were really in their heyday, like a lot of that stuff wasn't there.
I know,
and so,
right?
Like I think that's why they really kind of kicked off in the beginning. And then like I remember even when I was playing WoW, Discord wasn't a thing, and we had to use an old voice
like
application. Actually, it was even before TeamSpeak. It was Ventrilo.
Oh shit!
Because I think TeamSpeak came out after that. Because I do remember using that for a little bit, but Ventrilo was an interesting.
Call, guys. I called my friends on Steam back then.
Oh, on Steam?
Yeah, Steam has like the call feature that you can use the Steam voice chat.
Wait, does it? I've never actually used that before.
Yeah, they do. It sounds clear. It doesn't sound as good, but it sounds clear. So like for communicating, like if you want to do call outs and stuff, it's really great. It's like imagining like if you're like talking to someone with like walkie-talkie kind of in a way. Like it's clear. It doesn't sound good, but it sounds clear.
Okay, I got you. Like you can tell that they're talking over something.
It's less voice chat, and it's less voice chat and more like, you know, you're just doing call outs with your friends usually. That's how people
I think it was like the reason why we used Ventrilo back then wasn't so much because of the clearness of the audio, but rather the lag. Like how long did it take from your voice to get to the other people? So like when you're raiding and doing like those hard encounters and you have somebody calling out mechanics, you need them to be able to hear that like instantly. Which I mean, nowadays every voice chat I think can pretty much do that, but back then it was like they all had like some pretty bad lag to them. So
yeah, I'd say there's gonna be like a lot of like experience discrepancies between us, not only between generation, but also because of like the country. For example, like, internet only gets popular in my country around 2012 and stuff. You know, that's around the time like when Justin Bieber went viral and stuff like that. Like,
okay.
Meanwhile, like, well, people in America probably have YouTube by like 2006. I think that's when they first released. So like,
YouTube was around. More... I still had dial-up until I think probably like 2007 ish. So I know YouTube was probably around even longer than that, like earlier than that. I would say. Yeah,
like YouTube, I think like when from what I saw, they first like released like on 2006. But
no,
I think
it would have been way earlier than that.
Really?
Because I remember it when I was in like the 8th grade. I think. Hang on.
2005. First video to be uploaded to YouTube was Miichu at Zoo, which is posted on like April 2005.
Really?
Public launch is like.
Wait, would that have been
May 2005? Site is officially launched around 2005.
Okay, because I graduated. Oh, but then that would have been a freshman. Then what was I watching? Maybe that was only. How long has eBay been around? I do remember that stuff, but. Okay. Maybe I was thinking of some other site, but I do remember some of the earlier like YouTube.
eBay
I remember
like
the old like YouTube layout, like, and I remember like
95.
with the old internet. Like, do you remember anime episodes being split into like multiple parts and everything? Like, part 1 of like 24, and then I had dial-up, so I would be sitting there like waiting like an hour to watch.
Yeah.
No, not even downloading, just watching it on YouTube, where they would like split it up into multiple different parts.
Oh, not on YouTube, probably not. I definitely downloaded it legally back then, but like, internet doesn't really get popular in my country until like first of all, like maybe it got popular like earlier than I thought. But it's also like it's a multiple effects. Like first of all, like it came in late in my country, and like second of all, even if it came in earlier, I was younger and I wouldn't get it.
No, I get that.
I'd say my family was pretty like quick on the uptake, because like like when they first came in, internet came into like my house because my parents use it for business.
Right.
So they had to have it. But even then, the internet back then is like dial up, or like they would have this, I don't know when they start doing it, but like the USB where like it connects to like the provider and stuff.
Oh, right.
It's super weird. And they have like data limit on it too. So like I cannot even use it to play games, because like if I play games and it's too heavy, then they would get mad because like the limit would be all used up, and like so like usually I would play games like on Facebook. Facebook games.
Oh really? Okay. I think the main game that I played online was actually like RuneScape. And this is back when we still had like dial-up too, so it's like I would have to try to see whenever somebody wasn't using the telephone, so I could like go on and play it. And I would try to log on early, and like I would actually wake up early in the morning because I knew nobody would be awake then, and so I could go on and do my grinding and stuff out there. And then
I was the other way around, because like I stay up late to play games because my parents always wake up early.
I couldn't stay up late because my parents wouldn't want us to be up. Like,
my parents wouldn't want it either, so I had to like sneak around, obviously.
Oh well, yeah. I was
a bad kid.
I personally thought it was much easier to do it when my parents were asleep, right? So rather than trying to sneak around when they were
That's
awake.
why I had to sneak around, like when my parents, after they sleep, I go out to the office and use their computers and stuff.
I was not good enough to actually stay up later than my parents, and then also
see, back then, like they even like put their computer on like a lock, like they give the computer password, and I would somehow bypass
it. So you were still using okay. I guess I was lucky because my aunt actually gave me she built a PC for me when I was a little kid, so I had my own PC. Yeah.
That's how I always joke around. Like you
Hmm.
guys have it, you guys have it nice. Cause like I had a parents that sells computer, and like they wouldn't even give me their computer.
Really, even though they
They,
sold and had.
yeah, they sell a computer, but when I asked for a computer, they wouldn't give it. Like they wouldn't give me one.
Huh.
It's
That's
just
so
funny.
weird. Did they ever say why?
Everyone in
Or?
class have it. Like, well,
Hmm.
they were just like, oh, we don't have like any spare for you or like something like that. Or like we don't have enough money to like set aside for your PC. They always find reason, you know. Yeah, know how
Right.
parents
Well,
are.
typical parent stuff. Yeah.
Which is like, but it's just really funny that everyone in my class will be talking, hey, like, have you played like Dota at home and stuff like that? And I cannot do it at home because I don't have a computer at home. I had to play it on like Netcafe.
Oh, that stinks.
Even though I was the people that like sells the computer, so like it's just kind of funny.
Were you able to go to a net cafe a lot, or?
Every now and then, I mean, that wouldn't give me too much money, and like also I don't have like vehicles back then, so like if I want to go to a cafe, I had to like walk.
So
and,
like
when the younger you are, the harder it is like to convince your parents to like let you leave, right? So,
oh yeah, that's what actually I was about to ask you. Like, did your parents like let you do that stuff? Because I know my parents didn't want us kind of going anywhere, but
no, I sneak around because like they had to go to work, so eventually they have to leave the house. I will just go out and play and come home before
they
they
left
come
you
home.
alone. Like, when did?
At times. So when I was younger, then like when I was around elementary school, they would bring me to their workplace. So I would spend most of my life
Oh,
on
really?
their work,
Okay.
on their office, like on our shop and stuff.
Huh.
And then like after I was middle, like around the end of elementary school and like middle school is when like they start leaving me at home more and more. And I would just sneak out.
Interesting, because my parents didn't leave us. Like, I don't think they felt comfortable leaving us alone at home until I was at least in high school. Like, and probably not until like a sophomore or junior. So, because like all throughout then we'd either go to like a daycare when we were like really young, or they would drop us off at a after, like, so our school always had like an aftercare system.
Well, at first I have like a babysitter at first, but then
you scare them away.
No, it get kind of complicated. I think like the first babysitter, like the housekeeper that I had, and then eventually getting married in her village, so she went back to her village and kind of like retire in a way. And then ever since that, we don't really got a good replacement for her. So eventually I ended up having to like stay at home alone. And then like what would happen is that like when I would go to school, and then like you go home like around 3 or 4, right? And then like one of my parents' employee would pick me up, drop me at home, and then like that's it. I would have to stay at home.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like that even until like high school, because like I don't have a vehicle back then. I don't have a license. Like the whole time I live in my country, I never had a license.
It took me a while to get my license too, because I didn't get mine I didn't get my learner's permit until I was, I think, 17.
See, that's still pretty early. I didn't get mine until I moved here.
Well, not over here, right? Because usually people will get it when they're 15. So that way they can drive right at 16.
That's fair. Like a lot of my friends like drove stuff, but like I don't have a vehicle back then too, because like it's really hard like for me to like learn it by myself. It's
right.
Really weird.
Oh, did your parents not teach you or anything, or?
No, because they're busy, right? Every day. So they would leave. They would leave early morning and then come back late. So like I would leave earlier because I had to go to school, right? I would leave like maybe 6:37, something like that. And then they would leave for work after that, and then I would get back home in the afternoon, and then they will not be home until night.
But they didn't have like the weekends for you or anything to?
No, because it's a business, like, right? Like they own the business, so they gotta be there.
Okay,
like,
so they have to
always.
Yeah, because it's like, I remember like, because my dad, when he went to teach me, he took me to like an old, or not an old one, but we woke up early in the morning and just drove around in not an empty parking lot and stuff, right? Outside of like a grocery store and stuff before it. And so like that was always like really good, because there was a lot of stuff that's like you don't realize until you actually get behind the wheel, like that cars automatically like kind of go forward, even if you don't put your foot on the pedal and everything. And
those I think those applies to like automatic cars, right? If it's like manual, does it do that? I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
it
know because
doesn't,
I've
right?
never driven a manual. The only thing I know about manuals is the how to shift gears and stuff. Because my friend used to drive a manual, and I remember him like shifting gears and doing clutches and everything. But that's a good question. I don't know if that's only automatic or if even manual cars will do that.
Yeah, I cannot really say either. I never actually driven a manual. But yeah, I only learned a bit, but like it was really late. I learned it like around the time before I leave for America. So like when I'm like 20, 21.
Right. I mean,
a couple of years ago.
You still learned it though, so it's all good.
Yeah, but it's really recent. Most of my friends already knew. Like most of my friends have like a motorcycle already, or even a car. Some of them even drove it like when like we were in high school. They would come in to school with a car.
Oh, what did you think of your first time on the highway? Like, was that kind of scary for you, or?
In here, no. Mostly maybe because I live outside of the town of like big city now, so like highway actually pretty clear, and I get to like speed up even more. I don't drive that often, and like most of the time I drive at night, so like I guess like it's
okay, so it's not too bad.
On my yeah.
I know it kind of scared me out a little bit because it's like merging was kind of scary because my dad was always like, oh, you got to speed up, you got to go faster to try to merge into cars. So I'm like, but they're going so fast coming from the other way. It was like it's like it was hard to realize that you have to go just as fast or if not faster to get into traffic. And then
see, the problem I had with my dad is like when he sees something that he doesn't jive in, he would scream at me, and like it makes me more panicked.
So the thing that my dad would do is did your dad ever do the invisible brake thing? So like,
no, what was that?
So like whenever we'd be driving and we'd be going down to stop and stuff, I would have my foot on the pedal, but I wouldn't stop at the same pace that my dad would. And so he would freak out and put his foot on what would be like a pedal. And it's like, it's like, Dad, I've got it. The car's gonna stop. Don't freak out.
Yeah, no, my parents don't have that, but like he does get mad a lot when I'm driving.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he always say like, yeah, it's because I'm mad because like it concerns about our life and stuff. And like, but in my mind, I was like,
it's gonna stress you out more. Like,
yeah, the more you get mad, the more panic I am. Like this doesn't work. Because like the problem is the funny thing is that like when I'm learning how to drive with him, he would get mad so often that I make more mistakes than when I'm doing it myself.
Right.
It's not like I don't make mistakes when I'm driving by myself, but like when he screams at me, it makes me more prone to making mistakes. So that's just funny. But eventually I managed to learn. I was learning on and off like for a whole year, I think, before I took the license. So like the first year I came in around like first year after I came to America is when like it took us like 3 months or something to like get a car, and then like 9 months from that I took my first like driver license.
Now, were you able to take the test itself, or did you have to take a permit, like a learner's permit or anything? Or
no, I take the test immediately.
Okay.
So like I get the temporary license to like learn, like to actually be allowed to like drive with my parents, and then like that's like after we got the car, and then like around a couple months after that, 9 months, I'd say like a year after I got here, is when I took the actual license test license. I think I failed the first one, and then I passed the second one.
Yeah, I think most people do fail the first one.
See, the only reason I failed is like I didn't see one of the stop signs when I was driving. So everything was fine until like one of the stop sign right by the test area. Like when we were going back to the office, I didn't see there's a stop sign, and she pointed it out to me.
Like at the very end, like, yeah.
And then they're like, oh shit. So like the second one I passed it, like, because I was already fine with driving.
It's like at that point, it's like, come on, like that's it kind of reminds me of like, the cops that try to get you with speeding at the very, like once you get off the highway, you're like 2 feet away, and it's like, oh, sorry, you're still kind of going a little fast. It's like, give me a little bit of time, and
That's fair. But yeah, the car wasn't the best for me because like I went from so cars I had my parents taught me, but like I learned how to drive a motorcycle on my own.
Oh, okay, so you know how to like motorcycles scare me, honestly.
I know how to do the I'd say the girly version, like not the manly, like the big motorcycle, like Harley,
like a moped or something, or
like yeah, no, I can do like I don't know how to call it. People
like
in my country call it
like kind of looks like a scooter almost, or
yeah, the one that looks like more like scooter, the one with like a gap and like in the like between your seat and like the actual like driving stick.
Right. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, not like the sports motorcycle or like the head, like the big ones, like a Harley. Like I don't know how to do those, but I do know how to like ride the normal motorcycles.
Okay.
But yeah, well, I think I crashed once with those. It wasn't bad. The only thing I think it damages the bike a bit, and like I slashed my pinky and like my toes. Oof. I think with it.
Yeah.
And then like it was fine though. Because I ended up like what happened is I ended up like running with one leg toward my house because like I was like going around my housing complex back then. And then I think I instead I was losing balance, and then instead of like braking,
oh, you like jumped off or something?
I pressed forward instead, like basically.
Oh, okay.
And then I stumbled on like the side of like the road. There's a big stone that is like used to like put flags.
Oh, okay.
You know, like those heavy ones, like you can like stab your flags in there and like it stands up. Like I hit one of those in the side of the road.
Oof.
It wasn't too bad.
At least it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Apparently, like, because it wasn't too bad because like after that, like I was like, oh, okay, my toes are hurting, so like I'm gonna have trouble like bringing the motorcycle back. But it turns out like one of my parents' employee was like following me in the back, and he helped me bring the motorcycle back. So like I went back to my house first, and then to wash this like kind of like the.
Oh, that was a nice
scar.
Event,
yeah, like he ended up like. I don't know how he knew, but apparently like when I start going out, he has been following me for a while. Yeah, something is up with this kid.
That's funny.
That's the only time I crashed though. Yeah.
Did you ever learn how to ride like a normal bicycle or?
Yeah, I learned it really late. I learned it around like high school. Never had a bike, and then like I started learning how to like ride a bike to like so I can like buy food and stuff like when I'm at home alone.
Did your parents teach you how, or was that again something you learned on your own? Like,
no, of course not. Like they were out most of the time. I had to learn by myself. And then motorcycle especially, I didn't even tell my parents at the end like that I knew how to like drive it. So that way like. That way they you know, because like when they knew, if they knew I know how to like drive and stuff, they're gonna have me do more chores. And I'm like, I don't want to be a courier.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to be a courier. I want to stay at home, play games.
So that's interesting though, because it's like, man, I learned how to ride a bike because, you know, my parents would help with the balancing stuff. But I also learned it when I was like a little kid, right? So it's interesting, like, you know, to hear that you had to go and learn it by yourself.
I think the very first time they helped me, that's it.
Okay,
they really helped me with things. Yeah,
like, oh, you're good.
And then after that, like, yeah, you gotta learn by yourself. No, they don't know if I'm good or not. It's just like they just have to like, okay, so like I cannot like, you know, we cannot be here, so you gotta learn by yourself. Good luck.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, but then they complain if I cannot do it. I'm like, why can you do it? You know. It's all about balancing. You should like practice more. And I'm like, what do you mean practice more?
It takes like, it was hard, and it's always like, especially as a kid, it's like, you know, your parents are like holding on to you and stuff, and you're like, oh, don't let go, and everything, and then like eventually they do, and it's like either the kid succeeds or they fall over and then blame the parents for letting go. Because it's like, I think I went well, and then my sister didn't, and she got so mad at my dad for like letting go of her and stuff. It's like he's like, but you're not gonna learn if I don't do it.
Damn. No, I never had something like that. Fortunately, I never fell from the bike, I think. Which is funny. Never fell on the bike, but like ride a motorcycle and then fell. Crash and fell.
Yeah, the scarier one is the but at least you haven't gotten into any actual accidents, because it's like those can be very bad
really.
too.
Yeah, no.
Like
my parents has always put more on like the safety side of like driving and stuff. That's why my dad specifically like screams a lot when I make mistakes. Because he's always the cautious, like he's much more cautious than like average like driver. So he is more strict.
Oh, so does he make sure there's like at least like a good space behind each car? Like,
yeah,
good,
right up. Like good space. Like even in my country, which is like has different like rules than here, like in America. Because in America, you're like there's a rule where like you must always be able to like see the cars like wheels in front of you, like the wheels of the cars in front of you.
Depending on where you are, yeah, it depends on.
That doesn't happen in my country. Like the rules is that like you get as close as possible to the other car, because if you leave any.
I feel like that's a Asian and even like Indian thing too. I've heard.
Yeah.
Like,
because if you leave any gaps, either a car would get through it, like would start like trying to cut over you, or a motorcycle would. Yeah. So you would always have to like get as close as possible. But he's not. He would rather like leave a big gap, and like if people want to take it, he would play it safe basically. So he's on the safer side. So when he came here, it's much easier for him to like kind of like adapt with the rules, because like he's always been a safe driver. But it also means that when he teaches me, like when I like,
he's gonna be super.
Yeah, he's gonna be super paranoid about things. So yeah. But that's we went on a tangent.
No, we did, but it was good. Because I'm always interested to hear about like the driving and stuff, because it's like I'm scared from what I've heard from some of my like Indian friends about like driving over there with cab drivers and stuff. Like,
yeah. Imagine like driving in like a big city like Chicago or like LA.
Oh, I have driven in Chicago. Chicago is terrible, but
yeah, but like make like probably 2 times, because like you have to also watch out for like motorcycles there. So there's that.
And it's like, dude, I remember one time when I was in Chicago once with, when my sister came up to visit, like, we were going around and we were getting, like how in Chicago they'll have these like sort of trolley or I don't know if they're trolley, but like they're carts, and then there's like a bicycle that people ride, and they kind of like shuttle you around different places. Like, have you ever seen those, or?
Seen it, yeah. I never actually rode one.
Well, we decided to ride one time and just rent it out for like to go and take us to like the park and stuff in Chicago. And it was funny because like when we got there was like an Uber driver that kind of got into that like bicycle lane and stuff when he wasn't supposed to, because he was trying to pick somebody up, and all the bicycle guys got so mad at him, and they're like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here." And then he was like fighting back, and the whole Chicago like city style stuff. And then as our guy was driving by him, he was like hitting on his car and everything with his fists and stuff. I'm like, yeah this is the city life, like, because it felt like a very Chicago / like New York sort of thing to do, right? Where there's banging and arguing with people in the streets. It's like, it's fun. But I could never live in any of those places like permanently.
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
Like I think your dad would die if he ever went to New York or anything, because I've had some people that have moved over there, and it's like when you go to move into a car, like into a lane, you have to like force your way into it. Like your car is not having its paint job. Like,
I think my dad would be fine. My mom wouldn't. Because like the reason my dad became paranoid is because my mom is much more paranoid than he is.
Oh, really?
So he's trying to keep her safe. Is what is going on. Like it turns into a habit after that. He's actually like much more carefree if he's driving just with me. But if there's my mom,
Ah, okay.
He would be super like he would be much more careful because my mom would get mad if he drove like too fast, for example. Like if he's doing 60 on like a 50 lane, she would be like, hey, like, hey
Calm
dad, why are
down.
you like, yeah, why are you driving so fast and stuff like that? And she would complain about every little thing. So that's why like he would always like
Gotcha.
back, in a way.
So it makes sense. It makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like big cities, not a lot of fun.
Yeah, I get, I never drove that much, so like I guess my opinion might change once I start like driving more on like busier streets.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you ever get those experiences in the future.
If we ever go on a trip, I'll drive.
We'll you'll drive this time, and I'll be in the back.
We'll see how it goes. Make sure you bring your cross and everything, like pray, before I drive.
Yeah, I'll be sure to increase my insurance as well.
Just in case, you don't want to get, But, so we've been talking about like all of this.
So I think we were kind of going over what I've been doing. What have you been doing, Connor?
Oh yeah, right. I've actually been building. Well, the only most recent thing I've did was like building my PC.
Oh right, because you got the new like Silverwolf case and everything,
right? Yeah.
Mm.
It looks really good, but I'm really disappointed with the cooler performance. I'm considering on like changing it.
Oh, is it not like keeping it cool, or
it
is like the airflow, or
it is, but I just don't think it looks good and it performs as it should. I think the problem is that I didn't test how it performs before I upgrade the cooler.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't know how. I didn't know if it's better or not, and also like I don't know why I had this like noise every now and then. Like gurgling noise, like bubbling noise, and then it annoys the heck out of me. And I feel like, if the performance is not gonna be that much different, I might as well like send this back while I can, and then like use my old one again. But like here, I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
And then I'll show everyone one of the picture. I think where is it?
Okay, these look nice. Let me see if I can get them. Oh, they even have like the Nihility.
Like yeah, it had the Nihility logo. I think that side is actually like the bare, like doesn't have anything on it, like except the logo. I feel like they could have done more. For example, like instead of like a final sticker on that, they could have like etched the actual logo on it. It would have been so much better, I think, if they etched it instead. I was thinking about doing it, but I don't have a laser.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see.
Like at least for the logo, it would have been really nice if they etched it, because like it's mostly just like stickers and like color coordination, instead of like just pure black. You got some purples on it, and like the top grill is like purple. And then the backside has like more stickers and like more colorways. It's just a difference in colors mostly. So like, yeah, I think it looks good, but it could be better.
Oh, it definitely looks very nice. Like,
yeah, I mean, I also think I did a good job on the cables. It could be better personally, but like, I spent 5 hours that night, and I was supposed to be playing games, but like the cooler.
But you wanted to get the PC up and running.
Yeah, I was so pissed because the cooler came in super late. It came in on like my last day off, late at night. So like I ended up spending like I started around like the cooler came in at 8, and then I spent time around like at like 9 until like 2 or 3 a.m. before I finished.
Oh, how does
I had to figure out the case and stuff, and then I had to like put the stuff in.
Oh, the other photos without the. I was like, how is Silverwolf disappearing and stuff on it? It's like, oh no, it's not that she's disappearing. It's that you just didn't have the cover on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that looks really good, man.
I know,
that's really cool, and it came in a nice
with
box too, right? I think you posted that.
I know the box is really cute. I should probably like share the picture now that I finished the computer. It looks really good, but the cooler disappoints me so much. I paid for like the quick, like the fast shipping, so it arrives as quickly as possible. It arrives late still.
So
it was not performing as I expected it to be.
So like, I guess what were you expecting it to kind of be like?
I would expect it to be like either much cooler or like much quieter, one of the two. But
is it not? Do you have like a? Oh, you're using like a fan, or are you using a fan or a liquid?
This is an AIO, so like it's a liquid cooler now.
Oh, a liquid. Okay,
so
okay.
Yeah, so that's why I was expecting it to perform better, but
I'm surprised it's making a lot of noise. Do you
it's
have
not
it like
making
upside...
as much now, but
okay.
No.
Do you have the tubes upside down? Or?
I don't think it's supposed to like affect
the
loop. Because like it's a closed loop, like, right? It's like an AIO, so like it's not like it's not supposed to matter. As long as like the highest point is not the pump, I think that's what people say. And
right. That's the biggest thing I remember people saying, and even then it doesn't really matter too
it matters
much
for like the longevity of the cooler. So yeah.
Which is something I should take a look at, because I know my PC's getting older now, and it's like I have a liquid cooler and I don't know what mine's gonna be doing.
Great.
We'll see. No. Well, I'll wait till it. The only thing I've ever had go wrong with the PC so far, which knock on wood, is I did get a blue screen trying to play Pokemon TCG live, which I've heard is very.
That was on stream, right?
Right. It's a very poorly optimized game from what everyone's been saying, and I kind of wrote it off being like, their PCs are probably just crap. And then I go and play it, and my computer just like blue screens on me. I'm like, oh, no, it is just crap. Okay.
So I guess my PC is also crap.
No, it's just the game. Because no, my PC's great, man. It's getting older, but yes, I still think it's good.
I think that's coping right there.
Oh, I was mad though, because it's like, I think I was telling you before, I wanted to clean out my PC like this weekend, but it started to rain, and I'm like, no, stop it. Like, I wanted to go and take my PC out to dust it and everything, but I couldn't do it this weekend, so last weekend, so I'll have to try to do it this weekend. Which I should go and check. Well, it's gonna rain. It's that fall season.
It's gonna start raining next week though, so I think so. You might want to like pick it up and like actually do it this weekend if you can.
Yeah, no, I'm checking the weather right now. It's looking pretty good, so I should be able to do it. And then, yeah, so this weekend's looking good, and then I'll be traveling next weekend or the following. Or no, not the following week. Next week is when I'll be traveling, so that'll be fun.
That's truly unfortunate. Because like we could have done more things instead. But
what do you mean more things?
Had to go, guys. I forgot what update is coming. Actually, I don't think anything special is coming, so like never mind. I was just thinking if I had more time, I probably could have like finished more games and like had more things to talk about.
Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to think, but because like unfortunately I haven't played games when it's like I haven't like progressed through stories unless I'm actually off.
No, I get that. Like, cause I think we've both been kind of busy the past however long for our stuff, so it's all good. Don't worry.
I've just been avoiding like actual like storyline if I don't have like time off.
Because you kind of want to do it all at once, right? Or
I want to do it all at once, and I want to be like in a good like
mood for it.
Like good mood for it, basically. So that's why, like, whenever I'm not off, I was like, do I want to play the story?
Oh,
I guess not.
It was interesting because it's like I kind of have taken a couple weeks off for, between Honkai Star Rail and ZZZ, and I just logged into ZZZ like this morning, and it's like when I logged in, it's like Wise was like, "Oh, welcome back from your vacation and everything," and he's giving me the special message and everything. I'm like, "What is?"
Oh
this?
yeah. I saw it. Yeah. That's how like that's like the special thing. Like
right. It's the like welcome back stuff that I know Genshin does it too, and actually probably when I haven't logged into Star Rail in a while either, so I'll probably get that in Star Rail too when I come back. But it's interesting that they do that. Like
Star Rail doesn't do that. They only give you like the pass and stuff, and like the
okay.
With the yeah. And stuff.
I mean, Genshin does the same thing, right? They don't like have anyone. They don't have Paimon come and talk to you and be like, "Where did you go without me? You left me all alone."
They do. Wait, they do on Genshin? I never.
No, they don't. They don't. No. I'm joking.
Yeah, only ZZZ does that.
Yeah.
What I know.
That would be funny though if Genshin did that. Try to raise that. Was it parasocial?
They should
stuff
do
like?
it. I feel like that's more immersive that way. But that's just me. You know.
No, it is.
Some
It's
people can think differently.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what future gacha games do, right? And what they'll try to add in.
Well, I hope they're doing better. They need to.
We need good competition out there. So I think
we really do.
Oh
my god.
Because I think you said you've been seeing some. You saw some leaks or something for Wuthering Waves, or?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of leaks. But I think before we get to like the leaks, before we change course to a different gacha game.
Sure.
I know last time you were talking about HSR and you were trying you were avoiding like questioning me too much because I haven't played
right
yet.
Because I think I wanted to ask you about like the very end, like the very end, where
the
Ranmei is talking to Tin Young or what could potentially, because it's like they've revealed her character from the Twitter stuff, right? And she has a different name. So the question is
Fugui or something.
Yeah. So it's like, is she Tin Young or like, and I guess like, what are your thoughts about it? Because if it is actual Tin Young, I would be upset. If it is like a clone or something and the real Tin Young is still dead, then I might be okay with it. But I want to kind of hear your thoughts and see.
I think the first one is actually much more viable. Going by like the storyline that they have been going. No, that she's like actually like a clone.
Yeah, a clone. Okay. Yep.
So like what happened is that like I think like they found she found the corpse. And like from the corpse she uses like the experiment, because like remember how like Ranmei the first like trailblaze continuance like with the emanator of propagation, like the fucking bug. You know how like
she was like cloning the bug, right?
Yeah, she was cloning the bug to like experiment on it. Like, and then there's also like in the storyline they talk about the leftover, like the piece of like the emanator of like propagation. Not at the emanator, like the actual Aeon.
Yeah. Because she like wants to be an Aeon and everything.
Yeah, so I'm assuming what happened is that like this is like kind of like an experiment similar to that. Is that like they're trying to like clone living being, and like this is the closest thing maybe that she managed to like create, possibly.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I'm hoping that's the case too, because I feel like that would be much more interesting. Because I feel like story wise they were kind of clear with Tin Young being dead, but we'll see. Also, I really don't like that she's a Fire Nihility character, because we just got a Fire Nihility character. Like, so why are they releasing another one?
That's kind of ass too.
Because like if I had known she was coming out, I wouldn't have spent money on the guy. Or actually, I didn't spend money. I wouldn't have pulled for him.
Pretty good.
He is, but
the guy's pretty
just
good.
I hate the character. I hate the character. I shouldn't have pulled for him because I really don't like the character. He
He's
annoys
not
me.
that bad. Oh, come on.
No, I just don't like how he keeps saying he's a healer. He's not a healer. He's a DPS unit who can cook. It's like
He's a healer in role, It doesn't mean he actually heals.
no, he should be a healer in game. If like that adds to the immersion, right? If it's like if your lore is that you're a healer, you should be a healer. Like you shouldn't be this damage dealer unless your like story route makes you a damage dealer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe he starts off as a healer, and then after losing his companion, he goes on a, they get mad and go on vengeance.
Change role.
Yeah, pick up the sword and go and try to kill everyone that harmed them and everything. But I know he's
That's
just like,
fair.
there's no real story stuff. It's just like, oh, he can cook, and that's somehow makes him a healer ? But also a DPS unit. I don't know. I just don't like him thematically. So
Wow. So you're just a hater. That's what you're saying right now. You're just a hater.
yeah, at least for him. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the, I guess, overall story? Because now that you've gone through it, like.
See, I like it, but I'm not as enthusiastic in the game because of like I lost the gacha. So like I ended like what ended up happening is that like I played the game while playing another game. I've just played 2 games at once now.
Ooh. Oh, which one is it? The Snowbreak or?
No, I've been playing Nikkei. Well, actually, I played 3 games at once. Yeah, I played.
Okay.
So I had the. When I was playing this game, what happened is that I had the HSR play, and then I listened to like the conversation, most of it, I'd say 70%, and then I had Nikkei on the back playing automatically too, and then and then I also play Snowbreak to like finish the daily mission and stuff. The Snowbreak is like I think I played Snowbreak like Nikkei and like other gacha games like casually.
Yeah,
actually, I play most of them casually. I think the only one that I'm actually fully focusing now is probably gonna be like Wuwa. I heard good things about like the story. Apparently it's getting better. The game itself is getting better.
I need
too.
to get back into that. Like
so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, you should definitely. Do you have anything else to ask me like about the HSR?
I'm not about HSR. I was just gonna say stuff on like Nikkei and stuff because I have heard good things about like the story for Nikkei, and everything with that. But I haven't played it myself yet. And definitely they have some very funny. They have some very funny commercials too. Like Nikkei knows what game it is. Like even though the story is good, they know what their audience is.
That's what I like. Yeah, it fully embraces it. That's why I liked it.
And I think Snowbreak's kind of the same thing, right? Where it's like.
They're going that route. The game is actually super generous. So like what happened, I think right now is that like for every patch, they're gonna have like 2 new characters, and then one of them is gonna always be free.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay.
So you will always get one of them. So like the main character is gonna be like the usual banner stuff. The secondary new character is gonna be on the banner too, but you'll get her for free and along with like her relics basically.
Oh right,
so
it's like set. Only girls now, right? Is what they did for.
I think that's what they did with the game. It's only girls now.
Because they used to have a mix, and then they just went full DJ mode.
Service.
Yeah.
I don't like how like they removed the male characters, but I do enjoy like the girl characters. And I do enjoy that you get to see the main character, like your actual character too, like in the stories and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
your character actually affects, like your character actually participates in the story.
Yeah, I think it's just always like I've always had a hard time with the single, like the gacha games that only have like one gender in them, because I like that mix and it because I feel like it adds to the world and it makes it a little bit more enjoyable. But I understand why one would be a little bit more popular than the other.
Yeah. It would definitely make sense. I know that like. Well,
sorry, I was just gonna say. So they didn't remove the male characters; they gender bent all the male characters. Is what they did. Oh,
really?
That's interesting.
On Snowbreak?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Most of them look like a normal like like female character to me. So I don't know which one used to be like male. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, they did a good job with it. So kind of reminds me. There was another gacha game I played with. It was called like Exos Heroes, and the main thing about that one was that they had like this thing of like alternate dimensions and everything, which could be like just like alternate skins that you could get for the characters. But like there was one dimension that they had that was just the gender bent version of a lot of different characters, and that was always really fun because you would see these like this big muscular like he's like this grizzly old like war veteran. Pretty much he's what's his name from Overwatch?
Reinhardt.
Right, yeah, he's exactly like a Reinhardt, but then his like female version is this like lolly girl in a dress and everything. It's like it's really funny to see. And I enjoyed it, but yeah, I sent you one of the characters. Yeah, that.
Let me see.
But yeah, it's.
Oh, that actually looks really good.
It does. It does.
Yeah, I still think that like it's not the best to like have all just like purely like kind of like that, kind of like Honkai Impact. I think Honkai Impact is the same.
Yeah. It's only female characters outside of. I think there's one male character and one story mode that they have, and then that's it.
They used to have a lot more, and then people complain about it, so they removed it, which is personally I think it's kind of dumb. If I want to immerse myself, like sure the beautiful girls are definitely a plus. Definitely the reason I would
don't
play the
take
game.
them away. Yeah.
But don't take the male character away.
Right.
Like even if you watch like harem animes, like there's still male characters in the fucking thing.
Right. Yeah. You have to have like
whether it's like your
right?
MC, you like whether it's like your MC's like best friend or like their mentor or something like that. There's always male characters. So like yeah, I think they shouldn't have like remove all of them. And like even like something like WooBa these days has been real. Well, I guess that's the point, right? Is that like the fans that like those
mix,
games,
right?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that's the thing, right? Like when you go through that route, you're cultivating a different kind of fans.
True.
And that's what I'm kind of scared that like one day like the games that I like would eventually have to go that route. Like fan service is nice, but I think leaning way too far into that it can bring toxic people too, like toxic on the different end.
So why do you think they would be going down that route? Or
I think it's because those people just spend more money.
Oh.
Well, the problem is that like in the people has always talk about like how male character sells in the game, and they're not wrong, right? Like we got like Love and Deep Space and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say, like, isn't that like the biggest, like, or one of the biggest gacha games right now, or at least money wise,
like the problem that you have to like look is that like the gameplay is different. It's not an action game.
Oh no,
right?
Like that is just a dating. It is quite literally like a dating.
Yeah, and that's why the game sells, because like as far as I'm concerned, most girls out there doesn't play a game for the fighting, right? And like if the game is the majority of the gameplay is like fighting games, that's like it's gonna be hard for like the girls to like get into the game,
right? And that's probably why
the market is gonna be smaller in general. That's also why most of the time, like when you see Genshin, or like if you see like gacha games, mostly like the female characters always sells better. It's just because like the people that play the games, most of them prefers like seeing female characters.
Well, it's because I think the females sell better because both guys and girls like to pull for, attractive women. And then when it comes to like the male characters, the only male characters that a lot of guys like to play are the overly masculine ones that you don't really see a lot in the Asian like culture stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like
that's fair.
At least over here, right? So like guys want to be the big muscular like, I'm a man and I chug like 5 cigarettes and beer and everything and just beat. But it's like you don't really see that in gacha games. They're all like these skinny guys, like almost
skinny,
girls,
like
but
pretty
without
guy,
like
pretty boy, yeah.
So it's like that's why
I like about WooWa. Like the male characters have been really good.
Oh no, the male characters look great.
It's manly, but like there are some that like super manly, like kind of like the captain, like the NPC in the open world.
Oh, dude, I so hope that guy becomes a character. Like his character looks so cool. Like he is a cool character. I think people would like to pull for.
He does look awesome. I can see him like using Gauntlet as like his weapon.
Oh yeah, just yes, yeah.
But like, speaking about,
because it would kind of be like what was it in Grand Blue, right? You remember the one guy with the fist too? I forget what his name was.
Oh, the big guy.
Yeah,
the fire
yeah.
guy, I think.
Yeah, he just beat everybody up with that. Like, I feel like people would, like guys really like that kind of stuff, but
Oh
but
yeah,
we just don't get them a lot.
But like, here's the thing: a lot of guys like those kind of guys, right? But that doesn't mean they're gonna pull for them. That's the thing. You can like, you like some guys, but like you're not gonna pull. You like chances are you're gonna pull like more men are gonna pull for women.
True.
It's those kind of games. So like, even if people like the character, it doesn't mean it sells well.
I think it also depends on gameplay too for guys.
It doesn't sell as well too. Yeah, I get. Yeah, that makes sense. But like, even good characters in like WoW, for example, it doesn't sell that well. Or even something like Genshin, like the male banner is nowhere near as like compared to like the female banners. Like the top,
what cool? I'm trying to think, because the only recent like cool like or male character that they had in Genshin was it Neuvillette? Was he the last?
Neuvillette?
Yeah.
Neuvillette is really meta. I think that's why people pick him.
Oh yeah. No. But he was also kind of cool. Like, to be honest, cool. Like.
But I think most guys that spends money on him is not picking.
Oh yeah, they're not.
Cool.
They're definitely. It was more for the meta for sure because he was
It's gonna be meta. Yeah, he is still OP. I think they reversed the nerf because people in China complain about it.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. You see, that's the weird thing where it's like, I hate how Hoyoverse doesn't ever update characters, or when they do, it's always a nerf. It's like, why not just buff up all the other characters instead of nerfing your characters?
No, if every character is too good, you're not gonna spend money on the new ones. It's gonna be like power creeping every time. Because that's what Genshin been doing. They've been selling like that's what I don't like about Genshin. Some like people said like the game has been selling us convenience, and like you know what, you were right. Ever since I played WoW, I've been noticing that like a lot of the feature that we asked for in Genshin is being sold to us now.
Oh yeah. That's where I heard what a lot of people were upset about with Natland is that
because all the Natland characters is like explore, but by the way, you gotta swipe for all of them. Yeah,
it's on characters, and if here is this relic thing that you've always wanted, but you can only use it every like 3 months or something. Like they're adding in the stuff, but it's a big caveat, right, of what people want. So
yeah, and like they always I think what I like in WoW is that like the English. The first options in the game is like pretty universal. Like running on a wall is like, it's a base feature, right? It's not a feature specific on some areas. I think like Tower of Fantasy does that well too, but like Tower of Fantasy is like a different genre. I think it's an MMO.
Oh yeah, it's
so
more of an MMO,
options.
right? Than a. And yeah, it's like that was one thing I really did love about WoW was this. Exploring in that game was a lot of fun compared to like Genshin and stuff, and
yeah, but like Tower of Fantasy is just disappointing in many aspects. It could have been so good, but they were really lacking in polish. And like it would have been fine if the game came first. If the game came in before Genshin, it would have been fine. But Genshin came in first, and that's
that's actually probably true. Like,
people would have forgiven the game much more if it came in like a year before Genshin did.
And then I know a lot of people wanted to play, what was it, Blue Protocol, but unfortunately that was so bad that they canceled
No.
it before the global release.
Yeah, no, I heard the combat is really like last gen. Like, I feel like if the combat is anything, I think like judging by like the video that I've seen, the combat looks kind of like Tron and Liberty in a way, or
Oh,
like
really? It
BDO,
was that
but
bad?
like older. It was like last very last gen.
Okay. Like, cause I
don't know,
never.
maybe something like even like Final Fantasy 14 is like last gen in terms of gameplay, right? Like the
Oh
combat.
yeah, I mean Final
It's
Fantasy
just like the
14
story
is
is
point
really
and click.
good.
Oh yeah.
But like, I think Blue Protocol doesn't even have a good story. That's the problem.
Well, I will say this: like, even though the combat is like like it's a point and click style like combat system, but the raid battles themselves and the intense stuff are actually like current generation stuff. Like, so there's timings on things, there's really good mechanics, like, so it can be a lot of fun to play it, but the actual combat itself absolutely is less. I won't deny that.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun, and like you said, the story is really great too, and I think that's the main thing that connects people for 14. But like even WoW, like, because WoW has kind of, it has the not point and click, but it's the what's the actual terminology? Tab targeting is what they call it, where like you click on a thing and then your auto attacks like automatically go onto it.
Yeah, that's what like Turn and Liberty are doing too, right?
Right.
You have like two options, but which is, I find it really stupid, is that like you can play like an action RPG where like you can aim and stuff, but like the combat is still the same thing.
Or you can just tap target onto it. I know, like,
yeah, no, but like that shows like the game is like they thinking about it like halfway, I think.
Well, and it's really interesting too, because tab targeting came around, and like the reason why like WoW and EverQuest and all the early MMOs did it was because of the internet lag and stuff, right? That was like the best way to handle lag and it, like doing combat that way. But like WoW has kind of evolved, and WoW does have some really good like mechanics and boss battles and stuff, but they've tuned it so much to the top players that it's very hard for new guys to get into it. You know, it's like they almost like over cater to like a so that's what kind of ruined it for a lot of people there. But like,
that's fair.
But like Final Fantasy does a good job with it, and then Guild Wars 2, the other like top MMO, does a kind of a mix in between it, where it's like your auto attacks are tabbed, but your skills and everything are kind of action freeform. So it's cool. It's interesting to see, I think, the next wave of MMOs that will be coming out and what they decide to go with. If they're going to do action or not, or how they'll handle that. Because
like what game?
Right. Because like the question.
Yeah.
What is I was just gonna say, because it's like, if they go with an action combat system for MMOs, like, do you need healers? Like, because if you can avoid damage actively, like,
I think you still do. There, like, if you look at MMOs, like, there's always attack that straight up cannot be avoided, right? There's just like, some mechanics that you have to sustain through. But and like not everyone is gonna be played perfectly too.
Right. That part I could get. But it's like, is it a good design though to add in mechanics like that just because you need to have the healer role, or is it like something that they should actually like?
No, I think I wouldn't say it's the best mechanic, but I think it's a necessary thing, because like it's for at least for MMOs, because the boss is designed to be fight, like, it's an MMO, it's designed to be fight against like multiple opponents, so like obviously it's got to have some move where like it actually hits everyone.
Nope. Hello,
it's
friend.
It's not definitely game. It's not like, you know, if you're
MMOs,
playing like something like
crazy.
WoW, like games that are like Devil May Cry, like, you know, the boss is designed for like 1v1.
Right.
So it's like pure skill. You just gotta block or like dodge everything. It's like you cannot rely on anyone else. But like on an MMO, the game is designed to be beaten with teamwork. So obviously, like, there is some teamwork aspect to the game, which is like, for example, like if your health gets too low, or some attacks are like really devastating, then like you need a healer that can like revive people and stuff like that.
Hmm. But it's like, do you think, I don't know, because like you could also just resolve that by giving people like a personal self heal and stuff, right, on a cooldown, and then like you could make it more, if like your party engagement stuff could be maybe more like
It would give
buffs
the
or
game
support
less
stuff.
roles.
Mm.
I think it would give the game less roles if that's the case, because like no one, if everyone can heals by themselves, you might as well not have any tank, and like everyone is just TPS with heals and like item that increase defense.
Yeah, tanks are
right. You don't
kind of the
need
one
roles
thing.
at that point.
That's a good point. I do feel
think
like
you gotta like
tanks
have
are
them
needed,
specialize. No, I think if you're gonna remove the healer,
oh,
you
and
might
we're
as
just
well
talking about
remove the
random
tank,
stuff at the
because
moment,
like
friend.
if you're gonna make one,
Nothing in
like
particular.
if you're gonna make the classes much more like self-sustaining, you might as well make one class. You might as well not have any class and just have everyone self-sustaining themselves.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
But then it wouldn't
then
be
you
an
kind of
MMO.
get rid of the class diverse. Yeah. It's just I'm curious to see what people do is all, because I feel like. Well,
I would
we'll
kind of
see,
like
we'll
that.
see.
I always like the game that offers more freedom. So like system like that usually ends up meaning like it's usually gonna end up being like you get to change weapon whenever you want and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
okay,
I kind of like
yep,
that.
yep.
I personally not like if I have to choose, I personally prefer being able to like to change weapon whenever I want instead of like being locked to a certain class. But that's part of like the RPG experience is that like you choose a role and you play. That's why they have to design mechanics like in a way designed so like every role is needed.
Oh,
and
that's
like
a good point too. Just
usually in MMOs, even if you're good at dodging, you still gotta remember there's a ping difference because there's servers and like it's an
oh yeah,
game.
dude, I hate that so much. Like that happened to me in like 14, where it's like I dodge an attack, but because of the ping difference, it still knocks me off like a platform or something. Anyway, it's like that can be so annoying. Oh, and true, friend. You're right about that.
Yeah, that's the reason why like it's still important to have healers, and I think it's important because some enemies has like big punishes, right? Like not everyone is gonna play perfectly. Not everyone is like those YouTuber where they can like perfect carry, perfect dodge everything, right? So like if people make mistakes, the healer's gotta be there to like make sure like they sustain through it. The healer is kind of like the manager, basically.
The manager.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure that every person in the team is doing what they're supposed to do and not falling behind.
Oh, it's like I definitely have a lot of respect for like both healers and tanks in groups, because it's like I feel like those are the two roles that everyone will always like yell at when something goes wrong, right? So because like as a DPS, I pulled aggro, it's because of the tank's fault, not because I put my whole entire load on everything and did a bunch of damage. But no, it's the tank's fault, and if I die from damage, it's the healer's fault for not healing me.
Yeah, that's really funny. But I don't I don't play MMO enough to comment too much. Unfortunately.
They are a lot of fun, but like you said, a lot of the good ones do have a subscription outside of, I think, Guild Wars is the only free one. Well, actually, does Elder Scrolls
and as someone that like plays a lot of games, I don't think
it's a big time commitment.
Game model, that game model would fit me. But
no, I think you're good, friend. I think you're good. It's healing just takes some time.
I was going to tell you, talk with you about like the new leagues, like.
Oh yes, for WUA and
they got a
right?
lot of They got they have like a lot of leaks have been like coming out recently, like with the new character, for example, like Camellia. People have been like showing like her moveset and everything.
Is she? So she's not out at the moment, right? Is she like because I know they've released stuff about her, I thought, beforehand, right? Or is that only from the leaks that?
No, like the character has been in game since like 1.0, right? Like she's the character.
That, like, but I mean, like we've known that she was going to be the next character, I thought, for a while, right? Because didn't the Twitter announce it? Yeah.
We've known about the character for a while now. But now we got the leaks about like her moveset and like how she looks, and like apparently like her moveset is like really pretty.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people have been raving about her. Because like apparently her moveset is like super complicated, and like she would spin around, and like she's kind of like she's kind of like Chang-Li apparently. Like her moveset is really pretty, like really like complicated in a way, like the way it looks, like how she would spin around, she would fly, she would like swing, and she would like sing and like scream while like attacking apparently. Like kind of like taunting and like I don't know. People have been like going crazy about her.
Oh, hold up. So we're speaking about the leaks. I thought I saw something of like the rover on like Twitter about like the rover's like backstory or something. Was that part of the leaks too? Like I thought it was just some in-game cinematic that I missed. But
like the character story about what?
So it's like about the rover and how they were maybe like a soldier or something in the distant past, or
oh no, I think it's from the beta. That's like from the beta.
That's from the beta.
They
okay,
have,
okay.
Yeah, they have like extra cutscenes for those back then.
Okay. Because I was wondering where those were coming up, and then since you were talking about these leaks, I thought maybe that's where it was coming from.
Yeah, it turns out like it's from the beta. Like they had more cutscenes about how like the rover used like about the background story and like the past.
Okay.
But then like they decided to remove that. I don't know why they removed that. Actually, like those cutscenes and like those like pictures looks really cool. But then they remove all of those. I think they still use the background story a bit. I think according to people, like especially in the newest patch, from what I've heard. I haven't played through it.
Okay.
Unfortunately. But I heard it's really like I heard the new story is really good. Like with the new map looks really good apparently. The new character and the storyline and the cutscenes and everything, it's been improving according to people.
It's crazy that they have a new map already. Like cuz their maps are big and it's like
well, no, I think it's inside. Like it's kind of like a side area. It's not like a big, it's not a big new city. Those are coming in like 2.0.
What? So it's better than what Genshin has done. I'll say in the past. Like so, where it's like they only. It feels. Well, actually, maybe that's not necessarily true because Genshin would do. The annoying thing is like Genshin will add in a new area, but it'd only be for like a patch for like an event or something, right? And then afterwards it's gone.
That's what I hate, yeah.
No, that's so stupid.
Yeah, you should have like let us come back to it whenever. Like the event can be, especially like if it's like story related. That's what I hate about Genshin is that like in HSR, like for example, you can repeat the mission, and like you can like the mission that was like important to the story usually are like saved up, so you can like see it later. But like apparently you cannot do that like in Genshin.
Nope,
every event, every story every event that like story related is limited, and like once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah,
so if you missed it,
because like there was a lot of stuff with
the Chinese New Year stuff.
Like because Scaramouche, right, from Genshin Impact. Like he was
Yeah.
only introduced through events, and so like when I actually met him in the story, like my character didn't know who he was because I never did the events. And I didn't know who he was, so I thought this was just some random ass character. But when I was going in and like watching other people like play through that part or like talk about him, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Scaramouche!" I'm like, "What? Who is this guy?" And it's just like, "Oh, they played through all the events and everything, and that's why they know who he is." But it's like I feel like that's so stupid. Like I would have loved to have known about all this stuff before that happened, but oh well.
Yeah, that's like the disappointing part of like Genshin in general, and I wish they changed it. It's been it's 5.1. They haven't changed a damn thing.
Yep.
That's why I ended up giving up on the game. One of the reasons, because like once you miss something, you just miss them all. Like for example, like there's in the Chinese New Year stuff, you get to meet like Xiao, you get to know his like background story and everything, and then suddenly like you missed all of those, and then you don't, and then people will be like, "Oh my God, Xiao, like my little like emo boy," and then and then you don't even know why he's called that way. Why people are like talking about him like they know him, and like apparently like it's been told in like the events. But
what about
hopefully Wuwa does hopefully Wuwa does what like Honkai Star Rail does.
And let you
Hopefully
replay
in 2.0. Yeah, being able to like replay the stuff, the cutscenes, the main story. I think they could take a note from Nikke, because like you can even do it with the main story, which would be great.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, that would definitely be great.
Yeah, you can relive like the actual main story, like the cutscenes and everything. So you don't, even if you missed it, you can always come back to it.
That's always a good thing, I think.
But 1.4 has like Camellia. First of all, her moveset is kind of sick from what I've seen. Even her ultimate ability is kind of like, everything like looks cool about her. And then her weapon apparently is gonna have like different colors. You can change, like it's a skin. So like from the leaks, the weapon has like 3 different colors. I think the default and like 2 different colors.
So do you get all the versions when you get the weapon, or do you?
No, that's what I don't know.
Which one you get?
I think you get the default color, and then you maybe unlock that, like, I don't know how you unlock the other colors actually.
That would be interesting if they did like a cosmetic within the.
Oh yeah, they're only gonna do cosmetic in like 2.0. Apparently, there's a leak for like new, I think, Jinxie skin in 2.0. I think Jinxie and Sanhua.
Oh, wait, is that the
it's
red
like
hair?
The Magister. Yeah, no, the white hair.
Oh, the white hair.
The Magister. Yeah, the Magister and like the Secretary.
Oh, I'm surprised they're doing those. I mean, I guess they are 5 stars that everyone likes. But I would have expected the 4 stars.
The 5 stars. The 5 star is Jinxie. The Sanhua is 4 star. I think there's a leak that says like the 4 star skin is gonna be free, and then the 5 star is gonna be like sold,
okay.
Obviously, which is fine. I heard good things about it, and then like 2.0 is gonna be a new nation.
Ooh, okay.
Apparently, then I wonder if I have the picture. Here. I'll send you a picture right now. Apparently, that's how like the concept art for the new area is going to be. Which, like, if you've seen like Wuwa, like the concept art has been pretty close to like how it looks like in game. And like that's the area that's going to be like, it's gonna have like those fantasy, like it's kind of like seeing like Grand Blue or like Final Fantasy in a way, like the new area.
Okay, this looks really cool. Like almost.
Yeah. It's like
it's
really
a
like
hard to
Kingdom.
Yeah. I always love the whole fantasy thing of like the town and everything on the cliff. So
it's kind of like a castle in the sky vibe.
Right.
Especially since there's a lot of clouds like under like the cliffs, so like it's gonna be like a very vertical place again, which is great. So there's a leak for that. That's 2.0. I think they have a couple more leaks for like the 2.1 character. There's gonna be like a character with a gun, I think, finally. 5 star 5 star with a gun. About time.
Oh, that's right, because we haven't really had one, have we?
No, we haven't. There's also a leak that like 1.4, like other than Camellia, there's gonna be like the ray tracing update on 1.4.
Oh, and I think you showed me that.
I'm really excited. Yeah. But like the one that I showed you is like the ray tracing trailer, right? But like apparently they're gonna do it in 1.4. I was expecting it to be on 2.0 because it's gonna be like probably like closer to next year, like 2.0, right? So I was like, I wonder if they're gonna do it like along like with the big update. They're gonna make it like a graphical updates too, but like apparently not. It's gonna be 1.4. So yeah, 1.4 already has like a lot of features. I know I saw more like about it, but like I think a lot of them is like quality of life updates. Oh shit. I just realized I didn't press like the post, like the live stream post on Twitter.
Oh, you are still live there, right? You just never post. I've had that happen to me before.
I never posted the Twitter stuff. No, I did press live. Thank God. It would be so bad if I didn't press live.
I've had that happen to me before too, where it's like I go through a stream and then it's like, oh, okay, let me send the like thank you tweet and everything, and then I realize I never sent out the original like going live thing. I'm like, oh well, we'll worry about it next time.
Let me just post it right now. It's just 2 hours late, guys.
Yes, the secret con stream.
But let me see if I can find the Oh man, where did I get like the reason, like all the leaks and stuff? Like, have you seen the new area for 1.3? The new
No,
area
no, I don't think I
1.3
have.
looks really pretty, according to people, and it looks really good. And like, apparently, like even the water feels real. I've seen the clips of like
Feels
how
real.
like the
What do you mean,
like where people like see like looked at the waves like on the shore on the
Oh,
beach
okay,
on the
okay.
shores.
Hmm.
Because like, okay, here's a screenshot that I found like just randomly on Twitter. Like, look at the water on like those posts. It's kind of insane.
Okay, let me get those. Oops, where did it go?
Like, like think about think about it. Like, this is a gacha game.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. No, some of these look really,
Yeah,
really good. Okay.
this is probably like the best looking gacha game
Hmm.
I've yet to see. And most importantly is that like this is one
Definitely.
of the like this is the first game I think that actually like commits to like the PC community, because like a lot of the gacha games usually
It's
what they would
mobile,
do
right?
is like yeah, they would focus on mobile, and like it's kind of like I think I mean I don't know if it's real, like I don't know if this is how it really goes, but like I think like every other games make the game for mobile first and then they upscale it to the PC.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of that.
But I
You
think
can feel
Wuwa
that in the
does it
controls
yeah.
too.
I think Wuwa does it the other way. They make the game for the PC first, and
Yep, yep.
they port it to the
Yep.
mobile, which is why like the phone version does
Has
feel
some
more
issues.
crappier, yeah, and has some issues. But like the PC one looks really good, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, like I was hoping the graphical update would come with with this area, because like if you can see, if you looked at the picture, the area has a lot of water. I was expecting it to be I was expecting it to be like, hey, this is like the perfect area to like
to have a good like RTX. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the ray tracing would work the best like if the area has a lot of like water, because like if you look at the trailer, then like in the YouTube, like they shown the area where like there's a lot of mirror and stuff, and like everything looks great. So I was like, oh, this is like the perfect area to have it. They didn't do it. And then I was expecting it to be 2.0, and then like they just decided to do it in the middle. It's not 1.3, it's not 2.0, it's gonna be like 1.4.
Do we know how many streams or how many patches they'll have before 2.0 or
1.4 is the last one?
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I hate how even like Star Rail, that's the one thing I've not been liking about Star Rail, is that we went to Penacony pretty quickly, and now they're taking forever for us to get us to the new world, and it's like, why is it taking them so long?
I think yeah, because that's the whole point of like having the Trailblaze continuance, right? It gives them time to like build the new planet. That's why they go with like one big area every year.
But we got to Penacony before the first year ended, I thought. Or yeah. Yeah, we got to Penacony before the first year.
I think Penacony is like 2.0, right?
It was 2.0, but 2.0 came out before.
2.0 came out like a couple of weeks before the first.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's like we have all this continuance stuff, but it's like, I just want to continue on with the story. Like,
I mean, you know, it's yeah.
You gotta go kill an Aeon, right? That's the.
I think that's just how they do it in like the Hoyo games.
They do, yeah. No, it's what they do with Genshin.
Like they have a big area, and then they would like do the patch, like they would do the smaller area as like the side patches.
Yep.
But for Wuwa is like, you know, they are the underdog here, so I think it makes sense for them to like want to push things forward.
Oh yeah,
the story has been getting really good according to people. I haven't played 1.3. I don't know how it's gonna go.
No, I haven't either. So maybe
like
maybe when
the best
1.4 comes out, I'll give it a try and then go through both story arcs.
You should play it starting now. That way you can save up for Camellia. Have you not seen her movement?
I haven't seen any of her stuff yet. No.
They're also doing this new update on 1.4. So like when you finish like a domain, dungeon or like reward. Like you can claim double the reward.
Okay.
So it saves up on time.
Mm-hmm.
Because like instead of like 60, you can spend 120 and like just get double of it immediately.
Oh, nice.
Which is like
nice.
Genshin does that, but like I don't know when Genshin does it. I think like 2 point something, right? When they do the condensed resin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
like,
even then,
yeah,
it's like I think it's silly that like Genshin you have to convert it into like condensed resin and everything, and then it's like why not just let people like you beat it once, then just let them spend how much stamina they want on it, right? If they want to dump it all at once, just give them all that rewards at once.
But then I don't think they would do that to like any. Well, actually no. Tower of Fantasy does that. So like Tower of Fantasy has like So like Tower of Fantasy, you can farm with domains, but like you don't even have to get into the domain if your level is high enough. So like if your level is like higher than the domain level, you can just like quick complete it basically.
That's what like Grand Blue does that too, where it's like if you're like a certain power level or if like you've done the fight certain number of times, it's just like just click this to quick clear it, and it's like why don't like they do that in Star?
I think the reason like if like Grand Blue and like other gacha game does that is because it's not an open world game, right? But like Tower of Fantasy is an actual open world, like gacha MMO gacha game. So like I was expecting it to be to make you want like to make you play the game, but like no, they weren't. It was super quick to like complete it. I get a lot of like resources out of it. It's still a grind, but I've been able to like enjoy the game casually for the most part. And like Tower of Fantasy like is really generous in the exploration. I think like each map has like 100+ pulls you can find, like standard pulls.
Okay.
But like you can find like 100+. Like they show it on the map, like how much you can find in the map. It's like 120, like on average. And there's like 4 planets, so like that's like 400+. And that's like only the main area, right? They have like each planet has like 3 sub area or something like that. Those has like more, and then there's the quests, like the side quests and stuff like that. So like it's been pretty fine, but the game itself has been bad. Because like, oh man, like my biggest complaint in like exploration, like the climb is still slow. It's kind of like Genshin climb, but like the stamina doesn't take as much. So like it was fine. But when you're exploring, so like how things like pop in and pop out on games.
Right. And they'll
in like Tower of Fantasy, anything above like 30 to 50 meters just straight up gone.
Really? Okay. They don't have any settings, so like a field of view setting or anything.
That's on the highest settings for the draw distance.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's a setting called like far side boost, and I had it to like ultra maxed out and everything.
And it still was okay.
And like the collectible stuff, like for example the post that I was talking about earlier, when I was exploring and then I fly, I can only see it like once I get really close to it, like which like is kind of ass because the world is much bigger than like Genshin. Like we're talking about like maybe like twice to like 4 times Genshin's world. Yeah, and like if you can only see like the collectibles like 30 meters in. That's ass.
And do they have flying mounts, I'm assuming, or
some of them shows like for example like the mini games, like the mini collectibles shows up on the mini map.
Okay, so at least you can see it there even though you don't see it like in the actual game itself, right?
Yeah, but the minimap only shows a certain part of the map game, right? You still have to like get close to it. But like if you're on Genshin, for example, if you see a chest like 1,000 meters away, like no, not 1,000. If it's 1,000, it doesn't render. But like if it's like like 200 meters away, like you're on the top of the mountain, and then you are looking for chests, you can see it from all the way from there. So you can kind of see like, oh, there's a chest in there, and then once you get close, once you get close, and then you depend on like the mini map and stuff. Like you gotta be able to see it first before you get close to the area, right? If you didn't know there's stuff in that area, you wouldn't go, you wouldn't come close to it. That's the problem. The draw distance is really bad, and like the world is really big. Like I had a story quest where I had to like drive to like the next city. It takes me 10 minutes.
Oh wow, okay.
I had to press W and then like open YouTube on my phone. Because like the road is like it's like the Wall of China. Do you know like the Great Wall of China?
Yeah.
The road is like a Great Wall of China, and then there's nothing, and then like the only way you like when you first explore the game, the only way you get there is like by like going through there physically. So like they give you a mount, like a vehicle,
Right.
But it's slow as ass. So like it still takes so long.
Right, because the first mount is always like super slow, and then like after a while, it's like that's when it kicks up.
And I did do some like, I wouldn't say exploit. I'm just using the game feature, but like if you do charge attack, you kind of like glide through the map fast. So that's what I've been using if I'm exploring from like the top to low. But like this wall is going up, so like I cannot even do that. I have to like manually like drive there. So I spent the time like driving there while like talking with my friends and like watching, like scrolling in the social media on my phone, watching YouTube.
And it's like I feel like those trips are always nice to do at least once, but like after you do them, if there's no like fast travel, then it can get very tedious.
Oh no,
right?
they do have fast travel. It's kind of limited though. I would say like Genshin has like better fast travel like points.
It's like I think it's
really
more like an MMO, right? So it's like they'll have it in like the main cities and maybe some major smaller cities, but not much else. Like,
but they're also missing like an important feature of an MMO: auto walking, auto running.
Oh, okay.
You cannot auto run. I have to press W the whole time. And like if you alt tab, there's a problem with the controls too. So like if you alt tab out of the game and then you come back to the game, you cannot use the skills. Because it doesn't register properly and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot
that
of
seems a little bad
issues. Yeah, the game is awful in the technical aspect of it. Like the world design is good. Like the world is really cool, but the graphics are ass. The animations are ass. The settings are ass. The controls are ass. And then like when you go into the actual story, they cut so many parts out. The cutscenes doesn't even sync properly. So like when the character talk, like when the model move and the dialogue doesn't sync. So like the dialogue ends before like the mouth stopped moving.
So when you say that they cut out like cutscenes and stuff too, is that
so like there's there's a lot of story that doesn't get explained. And there's a story that's straight up skip. So like the first, is that
because they like went back and redid it, or is it just that it's always been that way?
So the five chapter skip happens because people have been complaining about the first area being like
so they went back and boring.
So they just apparently skipped the whole thing. You can go back to it, but it's a side quest. I was like so confused because like after the final, like after like at the end of the chapter 1, they gave me this cutscenes that I've never seen before with a character that I'm supposed to save.
Oh, and you're like, I don't know who this character is.
Who is this? Why is she here? Like, why is she here already? Because I'm supposed to save her. Why does she look like this? And what the hell is going on in this cutscene? And then apparently, that's a skip. So like, yeah. And then I had to play the side quest like chapter 1, like chapter 2 till 4, and 2 till 5, I think. And then you go to the next, and then you can always do it later, because apparently if you don't go to the next area, if you don't progress to like a certain point in the second area, you don't unlock the full feature of the game. You cannot go like you cannot spend the energy and then do the dailies and stuff like that. Everything unlocks in the second area. So it was like the technical aspect of the game is really bad. Like I swear. And then like the UI looks really awful. I don't know why, but like the game doesn't scale well with resolution. So when I upgraded my monitor to like 4K now, right? The PNG looks pixelated. There's artifacts. I can see it. It's like visible, and like it feels like it. Imagine like if you have a PNG and then you just stretch it out,
right, and it doesn't look quite quite
yeah,
right.
instead of like creating like a higher resolution PNG or like even like using a model on like Blender, right? If you make a model on Blender, like it scales properly with every resolution, right? The texture might not, but like a UI, like
the models
an
will.
element.
You're right.
Yeah,
The textures won't, because it'll depend on if it's like 2K or 4K, whatever you.
yeah. But like the model would, but like all the UI looks like PNGs. Because you can kind of they use PNGs for all of them, so it's all stretched out badly. So like everything about the technical aspect is bad. The story, from what I've understand, is good, but
they've skipped around a lot of stuff, and it's just
like, because like after that we're supposed to like, so I saved the girl, and then the girl's brother had to like, you know, sacrifice himself and stuff, and we went looking for him, and then he just suddenly show up, and then apparently the guy that looked like his brother is actually his brother. Is just like, we never, if I just followed the main story, they never told us about it.
Okay.
Like I only knew it when I was like looking at the character, and I was like, wait, this character looks like the brother. And then like I went to like I googled it, and it was like, oh, this is actually his brother. And like apparently the character knew that it was his brother. It's just we never mentioned it until like until like a certain part of the main story, where like, oh yeah, are you not gonna like confront your brother and stuff like that? And then like, no. And I'm like, when did we talk about this? But yeah, the game, such a disappointment. I really like the aspect of like it has all the good MMO stuff, like for example like the ones where like you can fish, you can race with people and stuff like that.
In like on your mountains.
It's like an actual MMO stuff where you can like,
do you see players out there in the world, or is it like really dead?
No, there's still it's still pretty I wouldn't say it's super active, considering how many servers actually exist and like how many people I've met. Like, but I've seen people here and there. A lot of them are like veterans, though, like people that are like level 100.
Right. So they're like running around with like max stuff and everything, but
yeah. But I think I like the aspect of this, like there's the world level, and you don't even have to level it up at all. So I just stuck on like the lower level, and like I was able to like progress. It doesn't even affect any. The only thing it affects, the effects that I can actually feel, is that like you cannot open the boss chest if you don't have certain level.
Okay, gotcha.
But you don't even need to beat the boss. I was doing fine without
around
like
in the vicinity.
No. You cannot unlock that even if someone beats it for you. Like to unlock the chest, you need the level, but you don't even need what's.
But the chest will still drop even if you're just in the vicinity or something, right?
Well, no. The boss always spawns like 30 minutes after it's killed, so like you can just, if you have, you know, if you're powerful enough, you can just kill it yourself and then like claim the prize. Gotcha. But the boss level has like a minimum level, so like if you don't level it up, like the boss stays in the minimum level basically. So like if the boss spawns at like level 30, that means like if you don't level it up if you don't level your world past 30, it's gonna stay at 30 forever, even if you're level 100. So you can always farm it later, and since it spawns every half an hour, you don't even have to like do it now. You can do it later. You can finish the story, catch up with everything, do everything first, like kind of like what I do. And like once you're like ready to start grinding for the boss stuff, you can just level it up to like which boss you want to fight. Like some bosses unlock like level 25, level 30, stuff like that. You just level it up to that level and then beat the boss, grind the boss. Okay. It doesn't take energy either.
That's not too bad. Yeah,
it's just a timer. But overall, I haven't really touched the social aspect of the game, like the like playing with players. But like the single player was fine for the most part. Like when I play with like single player, it doesn't really. I don't feel like I'm being held back too much.
Right, and I feel like that's a good thing in modern MMOs nowadays, is to have a good single player experience.
But the problem is that I don't know if this is because I came in late, like because like a lot of people have been complaining. So I wonder if it just happens because no one has been playing it anymore, so they got to make it easier for like people to play it by themselves.
Right, and it's like, and even if you did queue up with people, they would just kind of like, you'd go through a dungeon, they just clear everything before you even
most
like,
people would
probably
I can see most people do that because like a lot of people that stays in the game is probably people that actually play for a long time.
Right.
So yeah. But that's Tower of Fantasy. Unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend people to play it.
What made you get into it, like out of curiosity?
Well, I like the potential of the game, right? But like going through it is a pain. like I can barely understand what is going on in the story because like some conversation just happens. Now I don't know if that's because I skipped the side story, like the side quest, or if it's
they
because
skimmed
like
everything down and
or if like part of the story is on events, kind of like Genshin, because like that's what I don't know because I'm a new player, right? But like overall, the story is like really hard to understand. I can understand the general gist of it, but like I cannot get too deep.
But you feel like you're missing,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm missing a lot of details. WoWa I probably would recommend because so far it's been really promising. They've been listening.
I think
every new update has been getting better and better, which is great, honestly.
I think that's definitely the thing I would say too about WoWa is that, like, even though like the story and there may have been some aspects that were a little bit bad at launch, like the developers seem really good at listening, and they want to make the game better, and they care about their community. So it's like
they know how to balance between like making profit and then listening to people. And I think that's a good thing to have.
Well
I also send you like another animation.
Okay.
It's for Camellia.
But like I think didn't the developers also say for WoWa like so long as they can pay for like the server or something, like that's enough for them.
So long as they can keep the game alive. They also are apparently like they already paid, like they were already able to like recoup their investment.
Right.
So like everything they make like from now onward is like profit.
That's good. I think I'm glad to hear that, because like the worst thing would have been like, because the game was really good, and then if people didn't support it or they didn't make that money back, that would have been heartbreaking. But it's good to see that it's at least doing well. It's not. I think people were kind of shocked because I think last month's revenue it wasn't super high up there, but if it's still making profit and everything and people are so invested in it, like I think that's what matters. And I think once you see those big updates like in 2.0 and stuff, I think some people will come back to it.
I really hope so. I wouldn't say I'm super thrilled in the fact that like if the game gets too popular, it's gonna like start attracting the casual people that it's like gonna be like all right, flags at times. Because like the people that is like playing the game right now has so far been mostly like really chill. Like at least like from the posting that I've seen, it's been like, I didn't see any controversy about like how I didn't see any politics like how the girl is not lesbian, or like where like the most that I've seen about the post is like, where's the guy character?
Oh, they want more guys. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think WoWa somewhere along the line did say they're gonna like release more male characters.
Okay.
Which I think it's okay.
No, definitely. Like their male characters look great. Like
no, but I don't think they should have said it if they're not gonna do it anytime soon.
Oh,
because now people are building expectation, right? The problem is the expectation, because like if they didn't say anything, no one, people would be like, oh, the male character, like I wish they would release more, but they wouldn't demand it. They only wish. But like now that they did say it, now they expect them to release the male character as soon as possible.
Yeah, well,
which is
it's understandable, but yeah, it is kind of annoying. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it soon, or get them soon, and then
from the leak, I think there is a male character coming, maybe 2 or 2.1. I'm not sure actually.
Okay. I feel like 2.0 would be a good way to introduce like that genre. Would be a good way of introducing a bunch of new characters, right?
Male character.
And that area looks like you get a really cool like armored guy, right? Like kind of like a knight looking character.
I can see we getting like male characters. Oh yeah, here's another update. 1.4. Do you know like the road you like mode? The what was it again? The one where you enter the door.
Oh, right. And
Elusive
it's like a
Realm?
dream world and everything.
Yeah, the dream world. Yeah, it's gonna be permanent. It's gonna be like Abyss.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be an end game content. It's gonna be like a permanent mode. Like it doesn't have a duration anymore. Because like right now, it only comes out like once every patch, right? And then like it's gonna come out for like I think like
and does it
3 weeks
disappear?
or something.
I thought it was only. I didn't know it disappeared or.
The door is always there, but you can only enter it during the event time. Right now.
Okay, I didn't realize that when I.
Yeah, but like I think they're gonna do it a more like Abyss, like kind of like Tower of Adversities or like a spiral Abyss, where like it's gonna be always there. You can enter anytime, but like it's gonna get updated every couple updates.
I think that's a much better way of doing it.
I think I also saw people said that like saw people showing up there that Wuwa updated like the animation for like the gacha animation.
Really? Because even I thought their normal gacha animation was well above a lot of other people, right?
So no. So the update is more on the graphical side. So like the normal one was like really washed out. I couldn't find the Changli because like there's this video where they show like the Changli animation. And like the color is much more better now, and like the lighting.
Here, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Still though, like I mean, just the fact that they have even like normal animations and stuff, I think is like
and apparently they didn't even say
like
anything
Genshin
about the
or
animation.
Star Rail where you just get like a JPEG, right?
Yeah, they didn't even tell you about it. Like I wouldn't notice it if I didn't like see this video. Because like it looks better now. Like you can definitely see. So I sent that video, and then like here, this is a new one of the new area in the game. Look at that new area. It's like really awesome. I cannot wait to like actually get into the game. Like actually like progress through the story. And they also had an event, like they have like multiple events right now. Like the event where like if you upgrade your character, you get extra resources, so you can keep upgrading the character after that. Because like people have been complaining about like the character is like really hard to get. So now you're gonna get like there's an event right now where you like if you level up your character or you level up the weapon or you level up the skill, you get resources again.
Ooh, okay.
And I think it's for like if you pull like the new character is like Shorekeeper, right? If you pull for the character and then you level her up, you cannot get resources to level her up again.
Wait,
it's like to help with the grind. So like when you get the new character, when you pull the new character, you're gonna start at level 1, right?
Right.
So if you level her up to level 20, like there's an event right now where like you get resources from leveling your character.
Oh, to make
up.
it easier. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that way, like if you use all those resources, you can keep leveling her up, basically.
Oh, okay. That's a good way of doing it, because I would say one thing that I've kind of not been liking about like Star Rail and everything lately is like you get a new character and then it takes you like 2 weeks or so just to be able to like level up all this stuff with like normal resin gain, and then you also have to get the relics
to improve
and stuff,
the efficiency a lot. I think there's an update coming in 1.4 here where they're gonna add like when you get the echoes, they're gonna show you like what main stat the echo has.
Oh,
so like it's gonna show immediately on like the main on like the thing.
Oh, that'll be good.
On the UI when you get them, so you know immediately if it's like ass or not. And then they're apparently gonna release it on like PlayStation on 1.42, so like more people will get to play the game now.
Oh, nice. Oh, and when it comes to those new events, those are only for the new characters, right? They don't do it for like any of the past characters.
No. The event is just for if you level up any character to a certain level. So you can level up another character and just use the resource. Yeah.
It's just okay. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's actually really nice.
It only applies to like the character that you level up now. So they only count the character that you level up now, not before.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. You see, this is why it's like Wua does feel like they're doing a lot of really nice stuff there.
And like, have you seen the new 4-star?
Is that the
new
mouse
4-star has
looking thing?
Yeah, the mouse girl.
Yeah. With the light bulb. I have seen some stuff.
She looks legit, not gonna lie.
She
For a
looks pretty cool.
4-star, like her attack animation, she looks like a 5-star. Like, not kidding. Like, people have, I've seen people posting about like how like when if you inspect her on like the main, like the inventory menu, when she brings up her weapon, because like she's using a broadsword, right? Like a big sword.
Oh, okay.
Like the fat mouse that comes with her would like help her lift it up.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. That sounds very cute.
That is so cute. Like here, there's here. Even like an attack animation. Like, look at this. Like, look at when she does like the throwing sword attack. Like the new one, the Lumi gameplay.
And let me.
It looks really cool, and I'm like, what the hell? So like basically, the pet is like part of the moveset. Yeah, the mouse is part of all the moveset.
Oh, that is really cute. Okay.
Yeah, this does not feel like a 4-star at all. And like, I really appreciate it. Like, obviously, like, because of all like the effort they put in, I think like they're having a hard time keeping up in terms of like quantity.
I think that's okay.
Like, if you look at the banner, no, but like now like a lot of people have been comparing the game like between Genshin and Wuwa, and like how like the Wuwa is making less money. Well, yeah, no shit. Like, every patch only has like every patch only has like 2 characters instead of 4. Like, 1 4-star, like 1 new 4-star probably. So like they have less characters, and then you get more free pulls. You need less pity to get the actual characters, and then you don't even need pity on like the you don't even need like to pull multiple times to get the weapon, because like you always get the weapon, like it's guaranteed. So like, overall, people obviously gonna spend less money because you just need less money to get the stuff that you want, right? But people were like, oh, look at like this game is like making less than Genshin. And like, I just find it funny. And sad that people cannot do math, apparently.
Well, that's the internet for you, right?
Because like they were like, oh my god, this game is like making less than Genshin. It's like as if like it's a like, wouldn't be a good thing for you guys, because like basically you get the full experience for less.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
like the company is making money, and then you get you get to enjoy the game while spending less money, and then apparently that's a bad thing. Because like, if you want to spend more money, you can. I did spend on like C6 on like
exactly like you can C6, you can spend to refuel your energy and everything, and
you can always spend more money if you want to, but like you don't have to. That's the whole point.
I think that's a healthy thing, right? It's like you only spend money when you feel like you like the game, when the game deserves it, right? Not
And then I think I saw like they did some people did math and like how many stuff you get like overall with each patch. I think like you get like extra like 10 or 20 extra pulls compared to like in Genshin, I think, per patch. And since you get more pulls, and then you get your pity is like lesser, like you only need 80 instead of like 90 pulls. Overall, I think you get to like save up more for for next patch. Because like, if every patch, like for example in Genshin you need 90, but like every patch gives you like 110, for example, pulls,
then you'll be fine.
You get then but
you're guaranteed to at least get pity.
Yeah, but the extra pulls is like 20 pulls, right? But like in Wuba, you only need 80, and then you get 120. You saved up like 40 pulls. For the next patch.
It's like you're pretty much guaranteed to get one of the characters, right?
So yeah, like that's kind of crazy. Like overall, the game is like super friendly. Too bad, like I haven't played it. I really want to play it more, but I've been really holding back.
Same here.
Like especially because like the new the best story parts are like the Changli and like the shorekeeper, and I've been holding it back because I want to experience it with like the ray tracing and stuff.
Is the shorekeeper the one that's currently out right now, or because her character looked really pretty? Like,
her character is amazing. Like the graphics and everything, like how like the outfit, like the pattern moves, the colors and everything like that. And like if you see like the actual map area, it looks really good too.
Yeah, because I might try to come back just to get her, but I'll have to see.
You should. I should be able to carry you right now because thanks to my friend, my characters are all level 90 now. he's a chat. He's playing on all my 3 accounts. It's kind of insane. He was like, "Yeah, you know what? Here, I'll help." You know, he stopped playing the game for himself, but he was like, "You know what?
That's a good friend. That's a good friend.
I'll play your account just for you." And like I was like, "Oh my god."
What a nice guy.
Yeah, that's why he was so pissed when like, come on, man, just finish the story already. I need to grind like for the new character. I cannot open the new map. Because I keep telling him off about like, because like let me play the story. I want to enjoy the story, and he's like, okay, I'll wait. You know, and it's like, but yeah, that's the WoWon news.
Yeah, let's see. We're kind of heading to that as a 2.5 to 3 hour mark. So is there kind of anything else you wanted to cover, or?
What about the ZZZ? Have you heard about how people hating on like Caesar?
Caesar? You know? No, I didn't hear anything. I think, but is it based? Because like I thought she looked really cool and everything, but I think you said before that people didn't like her music video or something, but.
Yeah, because like I remember earlier when like about games and controversy, like apparently Caesar has one because she was a strong tomboy, basically, you know, a girl that acts kind of like masculine and stuff, and like super manly and like super strong and everything. But apparently, like in the music video, she was super girly and like she's into like
it was very cute. Like,
yeah, it was very cute. I really like Gabmoy, right? And I really enjoyed it. And like apparently a lot of people have been complaining about like how it makes her look weak, you know, like how like,
oh, that's stupid. Like that feels like such a masculine and like thing, right?
Apparently the biggest problem with them is that like not that she acts cutesy, it's that she acts cutesy for a guy.
Oh, that's
because like in the video, in the music video, like the guy that she fell in love with was like it's supposed to look like Wise.
Oh really? I didn't even notice that. Like
yeah, because like she kept imagining like the scenes from the romance manga, right?
Right.
And like the guy that she imagined is basically like kind of like Wise. Like at least like according to the arts, like the art that they use, right?
Okay.
So like if you seen the picture that I sent you earlier, like which one? Like the one with all the like the complaints and stuff. You can see like the guy like wrong one. You can see the guy actually looks like Wise.
Oh,
in a way,
maybe a little bit
like the hairstyle, the posture, like you know how like he always like puts his hands on the side and everything. It was it was implied in a way, basically.
Which I think is fine, but I think it's silly when stuff like that happens, because I think they did the same thing with Robin and everything too, right? Whereas like Robin was with the male MC, so
Robin, and then the Firefly too.
Did they upset? I don't remember Firefly. Robin was the main one I remember. But...
They were upset because like Firefly was supposed to be like this cool girl that was like disabled and like because she was sickly, right? And that she was like turning into this super OP like kind of like Power Ranger, Kamen Rider kind of like robot.
Oh, but they've been hinting at that. Like I figured that out in the base.
Yeah, no, but like they hate they hate the fact that in the trailer it shows up as her like falling in love with the Killis. Because in the final part of like her trailer is that like Kalis came up like to the spot where you guys meet up, like in the one where you get to like see into the sky, right? Like people like in the trailer you get to see like the male character, like the male MC walk into like the scene.
I think,
and she was happy, and like apparently like that's like, oh, she's been reduced to like a waifu bait.
I think, no, now that you mention it, I think I do remember seeing that, and I thought that was stupid too, because it's like,
yeah,
no, it's like she's had a hard time, but that doesn't, like, and now she's happy, right? Like, what's wrong with that?
That's the whole point, is that she's, what's wrong with her being happy with a guy? And then apparently the problem is that like she's happy with a guy. Because like if you looked at again and like in the Zenless Zone Zero, the Jane character, like the Jane trailer.
Oh yeah, where she's just
where she was teasing like the male, like the female like prisoners and like the female officer. People has been like clamoring about like how like, oh, like Hoyo saw like how people are shipping like her with like Seth, like the other, like the 4-star guy.
Oh yeah,
like the cat guy, and like Hoyo wanted to like let us know that she's a lesbian, basically, by
is
like showing
really? But she's not really showing it.
That's what they're claiming.
She's like teasing people.
No, that's what that's what they're claiming. See, like that's the bias, is that like if it's claiming what they wanted to see,
right? Because it's like
supporting
her whole character is like she throws people off their guard and stuff, right? Like, and that's why she teases them and everything. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's attracted to them.
No. Because like if that's the case, like there's someone that says like every character is like bi basically, because like if your MC is a girl, like they're gonna like.
I mean, if you can choose the gender of the MC, that means that they're not even so much bi. They're more. I think the term I've heard is like MC sexual is the.
Yeah,
like they're just attracted to
how the
MC.
game is designed. Yeah.
And a lot of gacha games are like that, where it's like,
and I just kind of hate like the dissonance between like the like, if their taste is straight, then it's bad.
I mean, in my opinion, it's like it should just be your own thing, right? If you think they're gay or straight or whatever, that's fine. But if somebody else thinks it's something different, like that's fine too, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, but then like here, see, that's if you see like one of the comment that like I showed you in the picture, they were like look at the text, like, this trailer may be my final straw, blah blah blah. I'm going to state this: I'm not here to argue with anyone, but if you like this straight style pandering, good for you. Like it's like, oh, if you like this, good for you. I know like it's bad for me. Like it's a bad thing, but good for you if you like it. That's basically what they're trying to say. Like it's wrong to like this, but if you like it, good for you. That's what they're trying to say. And like I'm like, bro, you can like whatever you want. You don't have to say it's bad to like the other things. It's like they have this kind of mindset. It's just like, and like that's the kind, like that's what I'm afraid that like if WoWa gets more successful, they're gonna have this kind of people in the game. I'm kind of scared.
I mean, honestly, they're eventually going to attract that stuff anyway. I think it's going to depend on how they, like, the developers and the community itself handles it. So I think since the community hasn't grown up with it, and I think it does seem a bit more mature, I think they'll probably handle this
it's more
better,
mature, but like the whole reason why Genshin has this is because the Genshin community is like really big, right? Like the bigger the population, the more bad apples in it. Like, and like WoWa is like pretty like small and like tight knitted still, so most people have been generally fine. Well, I mean, some of them are toxic, like in Chinese, for example, like they complain about like the male banners.
Well, I think it'll still be okay, because it's like when I think about it, it's like, you know, Final Fantasy always had a very good community too, and then it kind of blew up recently, like over the past couple of years, and of course, like you said, it attracted a lot of bad apples too, right? But the community was able to handle it. But not only the community, like the mods and developers within the game were really good at banning the people that were stepping out of line, right? So it's like they had a good community, but then they also had moderators that back that stuff up. So
I think Genshin started doing that too, if I'm not wrong. Like Hoyo in general. I think Hoyo, like ever since the whole Firefly thing, I think they've been they've been banning people like if they talk about like shipping and stuff, right? Like they cannot mention it as being
seeing
canon.
Something about the shipping stuff, yeah.
So yeah, Hoyo is taking steps, but like honestly, it's kind of hard because Hoyo only started doing this like now. Like these people have been doing it since like
that's the problem, right? So it's like if
yeah,
Wua
2 point something.
So if Wua like, does it before that happens, then they'll be good, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll be on the lookout. Yes, no, you have to give mods some good luck. Like a good mod is always like they're so powerful, right?
They should hire me as a mod. I'm self-promoting here. Wuthering Waves, Kuro Games. If you hear me, hire me. See, that would be nice because then I would be able to work from home.
Well, what do they? Well, here's the thing: do they actually pay mods, or?
If you're a community manager, you're probably gonna get paid.
Do you? I always feel like community managers are free.
If you're a Reddit mod, I don't think you're gonna get paid.
Okay.
But like a Reddit mod or like a Discord mod, if you're a community manager, you're gonna get paid because you're gonna take care of like the social aspect.
Okay, yeah. If that's part of your job, then yes. Okay. I thought you meant more like just a Discord mod or something, or. But no, okay. I see what you're saying. Yep.
I think I'm gonna be pretty flexible. It really depends on like how much they're demanding of me. If they're demanding me to be like available 24/7, I'm probably gonna ask for
a much higher rate. Yep.
Yeah. Because I know community manager always have to be like around a lot, right? But like it's just gonna depend on like the requirement. It's like oh, like if something happens in the weekends, like do I have to like step in immediately, or like or can I like set it off until like Monday, or you know.
Right, is like, does this have to be my full-time job, or is it just something I could do when I have
or is
this
like something I can do like in the side? So it really depends. But I probably would. I don't think I would. I don't know. As long as I get paid more than like the work that I have right now, which is like not a high bar, and I get to stay at home, I would be really fine. Like if I'm gonna sit in front of the computer like for the rest of my day, either way, I might as well get paid for it, you know?
Right. Nope. You're just being smart with your time there.
Yeah. And like I like the game either way. I've always like, no, I wouldn't say I'm always. I don't always have like a positive like outlook on the game, but like the game has been really promising so far, and it delivers. You know, Genshin has a lot of potential that they did not deliver, and like so does like Tower of Fantasy is the worst actually.
Well, I feel like right now too the developers have built up a lot of player trust, right? So it's like you said, even if the game isn't great, you trust that there's a
you trust they will deliver because they already did. Yeah, they've been doing it,
and that's really important. Like you need to have good player trust and everything. Because once you start to lose that, that's when people start to go and leave. And what is it? It's like trust is one of the. It's hard to earn, easy to lose, sort of thing. So.
Oh yeah, it sure is, and I would definitely like do my best to like keep like those kind of people off, because I like, you know, as someone that's enjoyed the game myself. I wouldn't want my game to turn like I wouldn't want the game that I am rooting for turns into like turns for the worst. So, you know, I'm not saying you cannot like that kind of ship. I'm just saying if you complain about other people's ship, if you're being like dramatic about it, I don't think you're gonna survive. Like if I'm in charge, I don't think you're gonna survive. Like you want to like that, you go ahead. You know, you want to make art of it, you go ahead. You start forcing it on other people, or like you start complaining about other people's ship. You're gonna get banned for that. It goes either way, you know.
Well, that kind of reminds me. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, there's been this stuff recently that's been coming back up on Twitter for like people that are like fixing, quote unquote, fixing artworks and stuff. And it's like that's always kind of annoying to fit their own mindset.
The whitewashing, the blackwashing, and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's the same problem, right?
It is.
Is that like, oh, you know, like what I'm doing is good, and like what you're doing is cultural appropriation or something like that.
Yeah, it's just wrong because they're both like, because you're forcing your own mindset onto it anyway, right? Like, you're not really being any better, and it's like,
And but the funny thing is, like, the most recent one that I've seen was like the character from like that paint game from like Nintendo. What was it again? Splatoon.
Oh, Splatoon. Yeah, I think that was the one. Yeah, that a lot of people were having it, and it's like she still looked fine. Like,
no. The worst part is that like some people were like, "Hey, you do know like lighting exists, right?"
Yes.
The whole video, like, she looks.
It was like a picture of like Barack Obama or something. And it's like, why did they?
Yeah, with the light. Like, why did they whitewash Obama?
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, wait, like this is, and I saw it and it's like, wait, that's a good argument because like it depends on like the scenery of like if you know if like if the picture is like when she's on the beach or something, like obviously it's gonna be brighter and like obviously she's gonna look like lighter. But they didn't care. They were like, oh my god, not another whitewashing. I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's the first thing you see?
Yeah, no, it's like but the internet be the internet, like. People need to get outside like, more. Like,
well, the worst part is that sometimes when I'm trying to like criticize people, they were like, "You should keep
they can't.
Those opinions." Yeah, you know, you should keep those opinions to yourself. But they cannot keep their opinion to themselves. They start complaining, and then the worst part is that like some of them started making art about like how they should kill like the artists.
Okay, that's never okay. That is never.
No,
okay.
That's just straight up like even worse. Because like, what the hell you mean? Like you're gonna kill people over like drawings? He's not even drawing like your mom or something. Even if he's drawing your mom, you cannot just like be like, hey, I'm gonna kill you for that.
Man,
it's people have been getting more and more interesting, and I hate it because they're not getting moderated. You know, it's like imagine like in a public space and then like you're like, I'm just gonna go naked because it's my right, and like, no bro, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no, that's
just because it's a public space. It's a public space.
Because I know recently there was this huge thing on Twitter, right, where people were complaining because they were like saying that they were being like just not discriminatory, but they were being harsher on VTubers for like their like outfits and everything, and it's like they really haven't been. It's just that VTubers are more like they go to more extremes, I feel, with it, right? They
I think in Twitch, the real live streamer has been going like more extreme. I think I've never seen like VTubers that is like actual naked. I've seen a lot of like real life streamer that's actually naked.
Oh no, so there definitely is. They're not doing good banding there, but I mean more like, and it's not the naked stuff. It's more, how should I put it? Like they make it more of a focus. Like, you know what I mean? Like they'll zoom in on those areas that are supposed to be like that Twitch has an issue with, and then it's
but
like
that's the thing. That's what the real life streamer do too, right? But like I've seen a lot more VTubers getting banned over like the real life streamer getting banned.
I think it depends. Well, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't hang around on Twitch all that much, so I can't say too much. I can only go off of what I've heard.
Me neither. But like, if you look at the news, like based on like the news that we've seen, it's always like VTubers getting banned over like the bikini model. Or, like,
right, but the thing is, they're not at the beach though most of the time, right?
So does some people that is like straight up naked on stream, and like some like do you see like there's some real life girl that would straight up be naked? But she covered so she covered her parts with like people's like donation. So like for example, like her chest is gonna have like
black bar meta that was popular.
The black bar, like the sensor bar, but like it's filled with like their donation. But she's naked on the stream.
And is she actually like, man? Okay.
No, she's not. I mean, you cannot know she's naked.
Right, that's
like
true,
she's truly naked or not, right? Because of the sensor. But like,
even if you don't know, it's still
it is implied.
Yeah. It's
so like those should have been banned, but like apparently they might have not been banned because they have a lot of viewer, because like their viewers like hundreds and thousands, and like, you know, if you have that much viewers,
Twitch definitely does have a bias for sure, like on some stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think it's a bad thing that you know, because like you have that kind of problem, and then you came up with the rules that specifically like target a certain audience. which is like the audience that like getting implicated
Well,
more.
Like I would
like
say, even if you don't include like the real life stuff, I think the bigger problem is that they were excluding VR models, which are
because it's also that's also like the funny part is that like some models like the 3D ones can just straight up like, hey, let me port this to VR chat and now I'm fine.
Right.
So I think it's a step in the right direction. The way they implemented. The way they're gonna implement it needs to be better. Needs
for
to
sure,
be better.
For sure.
It's not even like gotta be more broad. Gotta be like more like I forgot the word, but like more like they're not picking sides. If you're gonna block one, you gotta block everyone. You can't just like block certain people or like certain communities and you just block everyone that does the same thing.
Ideally that would be the case, but it's very hard, right? Because they can't watch everyone, and then
that's why I hate politics really hard, even in the business aspect.
Yep. Oh, okay. I think that was very much a big side tangent there.
I know, but I think it
was good. It was
good.
Good.
It's called Random Ramble for a reason.
No, exactly. We're just being on brand is the thing, right?
Yep. We're just living up to the expectations. Yeah. Oh yeah. If no one knows, we're gonna start calling the talk show Random Rambles.
Yes.
See if we can, if you guys like it or don't, just feel free to let us know. We're gonna go with this title for now. We'll see how it goes, and like if it sticks, then it sticks, and we're gonna like invest on it.
Yep. And we'll work on trying to update and get some logos or
get some proper like schedules, so we can like actually tell people ahead of time, hey, we're gonna do it on like this and this.
Yeah, that'll be good if we can come up with a good schedule and be like if we do every couple weeks, every month, like there's something consistent, and I think that'll be good.
Yeah, something more consistent, so it'll be more predictable, and maybe like if we plan it enough, we can
actually have. We can cover some better topics and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's true. If we can make it consistent, we can be like, hey, like this game's gonna update on like this around this time, or like this game's gonna get released around this time. So if we can like plan around it and stuff like that.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Because I remember you mentioned too once you wanted to do like a live stream reaction to like one of the like Wuthering Waves or any of the gacha game stuff, like updates, and then
and like if we have a proper schedule, or like if we have like a better time management, we can like kind of line it up with like some of the usually they do like live preview and stuff like that. We can do it also like something like Nintendo Direct or like PlayStation Live or something like that. I don't know what the shows are called.
And then maybe we could also get some guests and stuff as well. So
oh yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
The hours is gonna be kind of hard, honestly.
Yeah, it'll probably if we ever have a guest, it would probably be over the weekend or something, right? Would be no, even then, because then we'll figure it out. That's a future problem. That's for future you and me to figure out. Not.
We're putting some heavy responsibility on them.
They'll be able to handle it. Or they'll just push it off to future us. So
that's what they all say. But all right, I think we've reached the end of the topic for today. Unless you have something that come up.
No, I think I'm good. Oh, this was good. All right. I know before we came into this, I think we didn't even have anything, so I'm glad we were able to fill out this time with.
I'm surprised we were able to like go this far.
No, it's good. It's good. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Because like when we started, we were like, oh, like is it even gonna be enough? So like apparently it's enough, more than enough.
No, yeah. It's always good to see. So, are you going to be up to anything, Con, or?
No. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna. I've been thinking of like playing like the story stuff more like off stream.
Okay.
I want to enjoy the story.
No, it could definitely be hard when you stream it then.
yeah, I've been thinking that like maybe like live streaming should be more for like if I want to grind something or like playing something that doesn't require like my like focus.
Mm-hmm. And make it more
Or
like
if it's something that I've
interactive with the
already
chat
played
and stuff.
before.
Mm.
Yeah. Because like
Sounds
I've
like a good
noticed like
idea.
I miss more things if I do it on stream. So I've
Mhm.
I've tried to keep like the story stuff off stream now.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed like there are definitely some times where it's like the side characters, like how sometimes you can talk to some of the side characters during like the gacha stuff, and it's like sometimes you want to do that, but then during a live stream it can be hard to sometimes try to fit that in. You could just want to keep going and everything. So
Yeah. Oh no, like I finished like true to be told, I finished the HSR story like today.
Oh, okay,
Literally today. Yeah. It took me like I record the whole thing. It took me less than 4 hours to finish the whole thing. The combat was like really easy with Acheron. I was surprised. Acheron is
she's strong. And yours is E6 too, so it's even stronger.
Yeah, mine like I only lose like twice. I lose the Hule fight once, and I lose the one where he turns into Fei Xiao once.
Okay.
And I lose both because I don't have a tank. Because like when how like when you're playing story, they change the first character of your lineup.
Oh yeah. That's very annoying. Yep.
It took Aventurine out, and I was like, oh shit. But after that, I put Aventurine in. We won. It's okay.
Nice.
It was fine. I survived. Acheron for the win, guys. At E6 while you can. She's coming next patch, right? I think she's coming.
She's coming back already. Okay. Nice.
Time for E6 sequel. Time for E6.
No. I'm good.
Join me in the E6.
To be honest, I wouldn't have even gotten E1 or E2 if I didn't get it like 2 in one pool. So
you should get 3 more. Wait,
no.
4 more.
I'm good.
Sequel. Everything is a one click away from from winning with her. Like MOC is straight up like 1 click away.
But then where's the challenge? And you gotta. I like.
Well, the challenge is the challenge is on the stagnant actually. She cannot win. Like, well, no, not the stagnant. The challenge is on the pure fiction. She cannot win the pure fiction.
Yeah. You
and like also like it's only one side. You still have to think on the other side. Like, at least you got one side covered. You just know if you put her in, you can get your food and then come back for the second part. But yeah.
I'll think about it, but I won't make any promises on it. It's most likely not. I gotta buy those cards. I gotta buy some more Pokemon cards, man. You
can buy less cards and get more Acheron.
No, but the Pokemon cards are worth it more.
But the Acheron, the cool lightning lady.
But you mean Jasmine from the new Pokemon? That's fun.
You can do it on stream and be like, "Oh my god, guys, I got E6.
I only lost $1,000 and get
that was about to be me. I held myself back from like swiping again for Fei Xiao.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess the pain does help. The
pain
does help. The pain from losing it. And I was like, if I pull again, I'm gonna get like the same thing. I might as well not pull it again. It doesn't matter. I ended up spending money on other games. I think I spent a bit on like ZZZ, and then I spent a bit on like Nikkei, and then I spent a bit on Tower of Fantasy. I think small bits. And I know everything.
I need to save too because the new Pokemon Pocket will be coming out in a couple of weeks. So I think I'll probably just buy like the monthly pass thing there. I won't go too crazy on that one.
A little tangent. What do you think about the new alarm clock from Nintendo? I just remembered
the alarm. It seems a little weird, but
I know, right?
But it's like I've only heard of the idea. I haven't actually like seen it in action. But it just seems very. Isn't it like super expensive for an alarm clock too?
It's like $75 or something.
Yeah, that seems a little much for an alarm.
Some people
clock.
made a joke about like since it has like motion sensors, like what would happen if people start like making love in the bed with?
Okay. And then Mario.
Yeah, and then like, oh, Woo! Here we go.
Okay. Oh,
every time you move, it's just start making sound because like it detects your movement and like makes sound, right? So like every time you move, it's gonna.
Well, you can program it too to say different things based off of the sounds and stuff, right? Oh, that's terrible.
Just put some weird sounds on it. So like I saw it. It was like hilarious. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, Nintendo.
I do think it's expensive.
The one thing I will always say is, Nintendo does come up with crazy idea for their products. Like they do
I really
like to
wish
think
it was
outside the
cheaper.
box. Yeah, that's the only.
If it were like, I'd say $50, just because it has the sensors. So it makes sense for it to be more expensive. Like, you know, I would say like for just the clock, maybe like a $20-$25.
Right.
But like it has a motion sensor on it, so.
But that really raised the price that much? Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe like 40.
It
like
depends
40
on like
to
how
60
good
maybe.
Because like the motion sensor is probably not gonna be just like the camera, right? It has a chip on it too, like to like process the stuff. So the chip has to be more powerful.
It does have hardware,
so, like,
yeah,
it's a hardware upgrade. So like obviously it's gonna cost more. And like I'd say like $40-$50 would have been fine, but 75?
It's very much. It's better than you're pretty much buying a video game at that point, right? And not.
Yeah. It costs more than most video games nowadays. Most games are like $69.99.
So we'll see. I'm interested to see what people do with it. I will say that because even though they want it to be an alarm clock, I feel like people will use it in other ways.
Also, it doesn't work if you have more than one people in the bed. I'm just saying. The sensor,
Wait, what?
The sensor.
Well, then what's
the
the
sensor?
point? Like...
The sensor doesn't work well if there's more than one person in the vicinity.
Huh. Actually, now that you say that, I wonder how like other games, like for instance, like Pokemon Sleep, that's supposed to track your sleeping by like you put it on the mattress. But it's like, how does that work if you have two people in the bed or? Huh.
No, that's.
I never thought about that stuff.
Pokemon
like,
Sleep. I never used Pokemon Sleep, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, I did too for a bit, but it's like, again, it's just me in my bed, so.
Yeah, because like people were like, wait, if this doesn't work with two people, that means like you gotta find someone that is like likes Pokemon, have like willing to spend that kind of money, and also single. It's like, so like if you have a partner, that's a no-go.
Although I do remember people were like with Pokemon Sleep, they were like trying to trick the game early on. I don't know if it'll still work, but people were like, they would put it in their like their drawer or their dresser drawer and stuff. So that way it's like, because like it would track your movement and stuff, right? So like if you moved around in bed a lot, it would. Right. I think they kind of updated to not.
It's crazy that people
to be able to figure that
like
stuff out.
Cheat on like a sleep game, bro. The fuck.
Well, the problem is that they made it to where it's like you could only get certain Pokemon if you slept a certain way. So like if you really wanted a Pokemon and that's not your sleep habit, it was very hard to get that guy. So
I will never get it, I guess.
Oh, that's right, because you're not a big Pokemon fan either. So I'll get you into Pokemon one of these days. We'll see.
Oh my god. Everyone has been trying to drag me into like new hobbies, like Pokemon's, Monster Hunter, and then Final Fantasy.
Ooh, you've done Monster Hunter though too, haven't you? Like,
but I was not a childhood fan of it. I never played it like during my childhood. Like the whole reason all of my friends played it, like played the new one, The World, is because they've played the older ones.
Right.
The Monster Hunter 3 or like the Monster Hunter, like I don't know what's the name for like the older ones, but like they played all of them, and that's why when World came out, they were super excited, and I was like, oh, it's an open world, action RPG monster hunting game. And then I played it a bit, and then I stopped.
It is a hard game to get into at first. I will say that. Like,
I wouldn't say it's hard.
It took me a while.
No, well, it's not. I didn't think it was hard. I hate the control though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I hate how like
the
when you
controls,
dodge.
Yeah.
I hate how when you dodge, you cannot like. There's no iframes because I was playing it like I'm playing.
There is
Elden Ring.
iframes. They're just really short unless you have like the skill that increases your iframes.
Yeah, no, but I don't know about it because I just started playing the game, right? And I was like, I
Oh,
perfect
okay,
dodged
okay.
this shit. Why did I get hit? It's because the hitbox is so big and like the iframe is so small unless you have the upgrades.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
also like the perfect timing doesn't really change anything if the iframe is too short. So like when I was perfect dodging, like it doesn't work. I have to preemptive, like I have to dodge earlier.
Yeah, I think it's just a different style, right? Because it's like they have more like gaps in them, so it's like usually you could move around a monster or like figure out what they're going to do before the attack actually comes out. Whereas like I think you were probably more used to like
I'm more reflexive
Scrolls
player, where I would like. I don't think you need to dodge in Elder Scrolls.
Or not Elden Ring. Sorry.
Yeah, Souls game is more like reflex. You know, you're dodging it as close as you can. Yeah, you have to do it like as close as possible. If you do it too early, you're gonna get hit.
Right, and Monster Hunter is not that way.
Monster Hunter is the other way around. Yeah, the attacks is much more fixed in like the direction and stuff. It doesn't like.
They're not gonna do a 180 and just one shot.
Yeah. So it was a different genre. I did not like it, especially with how slow the combat is compared to like something like, you know, the other games. Because like a lot of the heavy weapons are big, right? And I'm not even using like the heavy weapon. I was using like the insect glaive, and I still thought it was pretty slow back then.
No, I can see that. Like, I would say the combat definitely takes a while, and you have to. They don't do a good job of teaching you the combos. Like, you have to go to like YouTube videos to look up what all the combos and stuff are. So it's like, I totally get it. Like when I first played, I think it was like 3 or something. I couldn't get into it, and then it wasn't until I tried it again on 4U that I could get into it after I like looked up a bunch of stuff and, you know, did some stuff with my friends and everything. But so like, it's definitely a game that takes a while to get into, and I totally understand.
Yeah, I like it more now. So like, I guess I'm still not the best at it.
No, it just it just takes time.
I haven't tried a lot. The thing is, like, I usually don't play with like tactics, believe it or not. I do plan some things like what I'm gonna do. I don't really use buff or anything like that though. Yeah. But like if you're fighting, like I haven't fight like the real bosses and stuff, right? Like the, like for example, like Fatalist or like Lunastra, like the end game monsters, the big the Elder Dragons, and like I haven't fought those, so I don't know like how well I would perform against those monsters.
Well, some of those you do need a party, so like I'll try to, I can try to help you out too if you ever want to get into them and everything, but.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think I think you're gonna get frustrated because I'm not the kind of people that use buff.
That's fine. You don't need to. And although I will say we probably should stop because I think my internet's starting to crap out a little bit. So.
Oh, sounds fine. I guess actually
we actually kind of a pain lately, so yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder if it's because of the weather.
Maybe. That's a good point.
Gamer.
But anyway, thank you, Khan. Anything else you want to shout out real quick, or?
Hey, shout out to Sequel for like, you know, because I asked him today, hey, we're still gonna do it, and he was like, yeah, sure.
That was the funny thing because it's like, I sent my because I think I asked you on like Monday or Sunday or something, right? Like what was it? I think you asked if we want to do it. And I said, yeah, we can do it. But you never gave me like what times you were free. Until like I waited, and then on Tuesday I post my schedule, and quite literally, like I think 5 minutes after I post my schedule, you're like, oh, I'm free on these days. I'm like, dang it, I just posted my schedule. But I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah, but I misunderstood the other way because like I saw he post his schedule. I was like, oh, I guess we're not doing it. That's why I asked him today. And it was like, hey, are we gonna do it?
No, it's like like quite literally, it was like 5 minutes or so after I posted it on Twitter. I'm like, oh great.
Yeah, it was my bad because I saw his message like the night before, but I was so tired from work. Work was ass on Monday, so I went home and I went to sleep.
No, I totally understand that. So. I think the timing on it was just very funny as all. It was
shout out to Sequel for like pivoting his stream today.
No, it's all good, man. I would definitely much more, always love doing stuff with friends. So
hey, I appreciate it. I love doing stuff with friends too. Not every day, but like, it's always nice to do it every now and then. But yeah, I guess it's time to go.
Thank you, as well, for.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me and everyone who came in.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. And we'll catch you all next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.